So. Oh, am I gonna be at the store? But yes, okay. So, last time we were playing Shogo Okie, and we got through the first path where we were killing people, and then we died. I think at the end there was a lady there that was probably the one-sided read holder that said, "Oh, ignore me, talk to the other guy," and I think ignoring her was her curse condition, maybe? That's my guess. And so Shogo got blasted after, ignoring her. Also, I have some kind of sinus thing, so if my voice sounds off, I'm sorry. I'm still gonna try and, like, do the voices and stuff. I hope I don't sound too bad, because I like playing this. Okay, so, we are gonna go back to before Yoko died. Shogo Okie is with Yoko Fukunaga at Kinshibori Park, searching for one of the 7 mysteries of Honjo. Do I just click resume then? It says restart or resume. Something's happening to Yoko. Okay. Is this her dying, or is this... Okay, let's just find out. I'm assuming this is her getting scared. Maybe. Let me think. Okay. I can't... Let me see. I'm trying to figure out... Oh, talk. Yoko, are you okay? Hey, what's wrong? Stay with me. No, this can't be. I need to keep talking to her. I'm not voicing the screams because I don't want to alert random people in my neighborhood and make them scared. So forgive me for that too. I'm not gonna voice the screams because I'm like, I don't want people to start thinking that I'm in danger. Yoko, Yoko. Okay, I have to keep talking to her. Okay, keep yelling. Okay, yeah, I was about to say I need to like I need to tell her to stay put and not try and leave me. Or maybe she tried to run away from the ghost? I don't know. I don't know what cursed her originally. Huh? What? Is calling her name really going to help? I'm already yelling as hard as I can. Should I look for what's causing this? There's nothing there. Yoko! Hang in there, Yoko! Look at me, you're gonna be okay. It's alright, there's nothing there. Yoko! Oh? Okay, new path. Okay, not dead? Shogo cries Yoko's name in a desperate attempt to wake her as she lies unmoving on the ground. Will his pleas get through to her? Okay. Shogo, okay, 1 a.m. in Kinshibori Park. Huh? Oh, good, you're awake. What? Are you okay? You were so rattled and confused, I thought you'd really lost it. Do you feel dizzy? Have a headache? Are your humors off balance? Wait, what did you say? I think I've heard that before. Yeah, you're the one who said it earlier. Oh, right, that might have been it. My humors were off balance. What, back there? You ended up like that because of your humors? Yeah, I've heard that at this age, your humors being even a little bit off can be fatal. I'm glad you're back to normal now. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cause you so much trouble. But I really don't remember what happened. Sounds like what happened to me. Maybe this place is dangerous somehow. What? Are you backing out? Yeah, this just doesn't feel safe to me, and I'm worried about you. Let's call off today's investigation. Come on, I just started feeling back to normal, too. Nope, not happening. Go home. I'll even pay for your cab fare, okay? I ended up having to force a still protesting Yoko into a taxi. Even then, she still wouldn't stop complaining. So to placate her, I promised I'd search the park on my own for a little while longer. Oh boy. Wait, is the suspicious man gonna show up then? Oh. Oh no, what does this mean? Wait, is this just later in the day, or does this mean there's gonna be something here? Let's find out. Kichiboy Park Part 4. Worried about Yoko after a bizarre incident, Shoko decides to call off their investigation into the mysteries for the night. Despite her stubborn objections, he manages to persuade her by offering to continue the search on her own, on his own. In further news... What?! Before dawn today, a police officer on patrol discovered a van collapsed in Subida City Park. The van was taken to the hospital, but his death was confirmed shortly after. Investigations are still underway, but police suspect a connection to other explained deaths found in the area around the same time. Okay, he got killed by the drowning curse stone as well. Oh. The big title card. Takanari Ishiyama. Thank you, person. I've been enjoying it so far. Okay, that was just an achievement for completing the prologue, so I guess we're now getting into the proper game. Well done in your efforts thus far. This brings Shogo Okie's story to a close. Ah, but this is not the end. Far from it. In fact, this is where our story finally begins. The routes of the other three protagonists have now been unlocked. Harue Shigima, a woman who lost her son when he was kidnapped and murdered. Tetsuo Tsutsumi, the chief inspector of the 1st Investigative Division, who is looking into the death of an officer in the line of duty. Yako Sakazaki, a high school girl who wants to bring her friend back from the dead, a girl who died in a suspicious suicide. Each of them is burdened with circumstances that leave them no choice but to seek the right of resurrection. Following these three storylines will reveal the full nature of all that is occurring. With that, please enjoy the continuation of this tale. Okay, alright, so that was it for Okie, huh? Okay, so I can pick anybody. Okay, so that's it for Shogo for now. I don't know if that's it, period. That seems kind of short, but maybe it is. Anyway, to be honest, I'm mostly interested in Tetsuo. Probably because I'm old or something. So I'm going to start with Tetsuo. Crime scene investigation, Tetsuo Tsutsumi. Chief Inspector of the Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Investigative Division, is investigating the mysterious death of a fellow officer. He visits the scene of the incident with former Yosta Gardens with his subordinate Junario. Okay, so the Yosta Gardens was where Harue was. I don't know if it matters which order I do them in, but this is what I'm going to do. Tetsuo Tsutsumi, 11 p.m. And this is at the Yosta Gardens, which is where Harue burned us to death in the other timeline. Hey, boss. Forensics is all done. The crime scene is clean. The other officers have all gone home. It's just us now. The park should be able to open back up tomorrow like nothing ever happened. I doubt it'll get many visitors after everything has happened. You'd be surprised. Lots of people love that kind of thing. I bet they'll be lining up to get in. Occult stuff is really popular right now. Did you not know that, boss? Sounds stupid. It's really hard to do the Tetsuo voice when I've got this sinus thing. I'm sorry if this sounds terrible. I mean, not that I'm a voice actor anyway, but whatever. Well, it's not exactly rooted in science, but if ghosts really did exist, we could just ask them who the perp is. Somehow, I doubt it'd be that simple. Oh, but you know, I've heard the high school girls are really into the spirit board thing these days. Supposedly, you can call on spirits and talk to them by using a board with letters on it. Wouldn't that be something? You can try it out yourself if you're so interested. Hey, that's not a bad idea. Let's give it a go sometime, boss. What now? Stop messing around. You really think we're going to solve this case by moving a coin across a scrap of paper? Sounds like you know all about it. We've got to be open-minded. What if that's how police work's going to be from now on? Don't make me laugh. Oh? The spirit board. Okay, so this is kind of like a Ouija board kind of deal. This is obviously an English version. I guess the original... maybe in... Is this supposed to be in English? Or is this only for the English version, I wonder? Anyway. Due to the occult craze, divination has become popular among young boys and girls. All one needs is a coin and a piece of paper with letters and numbers written on it. Okay, yeah. I was thinking, like, do Japanese coins nowadays have, like, a hole in the metal? That was, like, old coins, right? Because I think, I'm trying to remember, does a Ouija board have, like, a hole so you can actually... Doesn't it have, like, a little... Isn't it like a donut so you can see what the thing is? I mean, I guess you could... I guess you'd probably know what the alphabet is, but still. I feel like if I was scared and it covered up, like, the M... I'd be like, wait, what letter comes after L again? Like, I'm spooked right now. I'm peeing myself because there might be a ghost, you know? And I have no idea. Using these, all one has to do is to ask a question of the called upon spirit, and it will move the coin and answer. It is believed to be a tool that was adopted from Western spiritualism and molded by Japanese occult enthusiasts. I have no idea where, like, the Ouija board and stuff actually originated from. Though it is considered to be a form of divination, the ritualistic nature of its usage can cause self-hypnosis or autosuggestion, leading to hallucinations or symptoms similar to spirit possessions. Many schools banned these spirit boards after there were several cases of students sneaking into schools at night, in addition to stories of people having seizures when using the boards. Yeah, I imagine if students were sneaking in at night, that would be like a problem in general. Listen up, Ario. You can't go blaming the death of your buddy on something like the occult. I don't care if it was ghosts or the occult or what. Whatever it was that did this, I'll get them. I promise you that. Well, you've got the right attitude, but we don't even know if this is a murder yet. Biases weaken our judgment. Get too fixated on one thing, you stop seeing everything else. Alright, boss. So, now that we've finished investigating the scene, let's review what we know. Now? It's getting late. I figured we'd head straight home from here. Come on, we gotta go over all the info we gathered. And what better place to do that than here, at the scene of the crime, where we can soak up the atmosphere. Soak up the atmosphere? The hell is there to soak up? Unless we're really into this occult stuff, if you get off on being if you get off on being in a place like this. Wait, you mean being somewhere like this doesn't get your blood pumping? No way. No, don't turn this around on me. I'm not the weird one here. Cripes. Fine, let's get this over with. Alright, boss. June Area, a detective in the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, 1st Investigative Division. I can't say investigative division very well, apparently. His rank is sergeant. And this is his first time leading a case. It's like he's graduated from rookie to newbie. He looks put together on the outside, but acts like a kid most of the time. Honestly, the force could use more people like him. I've got a bad feeling about this case, and my gut's rarely wrong. I knew this would be a treacherous case from the moment we were dragged into it. Okay, that's the same lines. Alright, The former Yasta Gardens here in Yokohama Ichome were originally built as a part of a daimyo's estate back in the Edo period. The park became a city property a number of years ago and underwent extensive renovations. There's not a soul around at this time of night. Quiet doesn't even begin to describe it. Anything else that I can look at? There was like a pool. Yeah, a pond. This pond, they say it used to flow into the Sumida River, but the river became so polluted they cut it off. Polluted, huh? Hold up. I've lost track of my boy. Okay. Alright. About Tsutsumi. Okay, we'll start with the case. So, early in the morning yesterday, a staff member found the victim collapsed here in the park and called the police when they realized he was dead. While there were no obvious external wounds, the fact that he was a police officer and the evidence of a struggle means it's likely that this was a murder. The Sumida office sent it over to us since it involved the death of an officer, and we were tasked with the investigation. What we need to do is figure out what happened and whether there was foul play involved. I think that about sums things up. But, boss. Yeah? Is this case really important enough to assign to someone from the investigation division? I mean, a friend of mine died, so it's important to me, but it's all the way to the higher-ups. I'm sure they got their reasons. Boss, you know something, don't you? It'll all become clear in time. Try not to worry about it too much. Thinking about it, the only thing we know for sure is the identity of the victim. That means there must have been something special about him, right? Maybe he knew something he wasn't supposed to, some kind of secret or something. Isn't that right? You're pretty sharp sometimes, you know that? If you picked up on that, you should be able to put the rest together yourself. Well, it's our duty to get to the bottom of a suspicious death, especially when involving an officer. Okay. That was about Tsutsumi before. But either way, I'm so glad you're back in the First Division, boss. I've always admired your work. You were like a god to me. You're the whole reason I became a detective in the first place. Yeah, about that. People have been saying that ever since you first entered the academy, but... Yes, that's because it's true. I couldn't believe you got transferred out of the first just as I was assigned to it. So getting to work a case like this now, just the two of us, is a dream come true. Happy as I am to hear that, well, how should I put it? What is it? If that's true, I'm not sure you've been showing me the appropriate amount of respect. Huh? But I do respect you. Don't tell me you're going senile, boss. That's exactly what I'm talking about when you run your mouth like that. It's getting late. You must be sleepy. Don't worry, boss. I'll make sure we get out of here soon. Yeah, I get it. I've been wowed by your shrewd detecting abilities all day today. Oh, really? Funny. I've been wowed by you too. Huh? That one's not getting marked completed, so we're just gonna move on, even though it was the same voice line, or the same lines. 1 second. The victim is Hajime Yoshimi of the Juvenile Division of the Sumida City Community Safety Bureau. That was a lot to say. 27 years old, single. He mostly dealt with cases involving juveniles and education. His rank was senior police officer. I think I didn't do the voice for that, but whatever. That was a lot to read. Sorry, I got distracted. You knew him well, didn't you? What was he like? Yes, we were in the academy together. We still went out for drinks together every month or two. He could be a little rowdy, but he was like a big brother to all of us. He was kind and cared about his friends. For better or worse, he wasn't the uptight type of cop. The man always showed sympathy, and I heard he was popular with the locals for it. He treated each and every trouble kid he met with compassion. He had a great track record when it came to rehabilitation. Sounds like we lost a good one. Yes, we did. We truly did. I knew being a cop was dangerous. I knew something like this could happen, but it's never easy when it happens for real. I know the feeling. He didn't seem to care much about climbing the ranks, but he was at the top of our class. The only problem was that he took on so much, he had the most unfinished paperwork, too. I always felt we needed an unusual guy like him to help us solve all our unusual cases. Hajime Yoshimi. So this is the guy that was the victim. I didn't pay attention to the corpse, by the way. They showed a picture of it, but I didn't really, pay attention to it to see, what killed him, maybe. It didn't seem like it was drowning, though. I don't remember it being the drowning curse. We'll see. Hajime was a police officer with the Sumida City Community Safety Bureau, which was primarily responsible for juvenile and education cases. He held the rank of head patrol officer, or senior police officer, like I said before. It's probably the same thing. And entered the force at the same time as Junario. Hajime was found dead under mysterious circumstances at the former Yasuda Gardens early in the morning yesterday. Once a rebellious gang member himself, Yoshimi turned his life around and used his own experiences to connect with troubled youth as a police officer. While his appearance and demeanor suggested a man who was rough around the edges, he was a passionate, loyal, and caring man at heart, looked up to as a big brother by his peers. Yoshimi achieved stellar results in his work with juvenile cases, but his consistently sloppy paperwork and less than formal attitude essentially doomed his career and had him writing formal apologies on the regular. He left behind a fiancée whom he'd been dating ever since high school. Yeah, I feel this dude's pain. I get the same thing. People tell me I look intimidating, but I'm nice and everything. I get that. I've got this like my whole life. I think now that I'm getting older and I've got a little bit of gray hair coming in, maybe that time's over and I don't have to worry about it as much. But when I was younger, people were always telling me that same thing. Don't worry. Oh god, my voice. Don't worry, you're plenty unusual yourself. Me? I was the most normal of my classmates. Besides, the real weirdo among us quit the academy a long time ago. There was one even weirder than you. Okay, let's keep going about the victim. Hajime was quite the bad boy in school, apparently. He ended up with the police a lot. He said that the officer in charge was good to him, helped him get back on track. The reason he wanted to become a cop was to pay his kindness forward. Said it was the first time he ever took his studies seriously. That's a good story. Love that kind of thing. Makes you want to have a drink in his honor. Please don't make fun of my dead friend. Hey, I said in his honor. You should aspire to become the kind of cop people miss when they die in the field. You say that like it's a sure thing I'll die. Besides, if I end up biting it, I'm sure you'll be the one who misses me most, boss. Come on, don't be like that. You'll hurt morale. Well, I guess how much I'll miss you depends on how this investigation goes. I can already see it. Eddie-o! No! Why'd you have to go and get yourself killed? I have no idea what's going on in that head of yours. Yeah, that'll be a sight to see. I can't wait. You can't wait for your own death. Get it together, kid. Sheesh, you really are something. Thank you? What about the victim's family? The Yoshimi family is from Kitasenju in Adachi City. But Hajime's parents died a long time ago. He lived there all alone, no siblings or anything. I went to his house a few times for drinks. I was surprised. It's this huge, old-looking place. Like, you know, the kind of place that seems super haunted. And he lived there, alone. It looked like the home of an old noble family. It was hard to imagine him being such a delinquent living in a house like that. There's that bias I was talking about. He's from an old family, I'm sure things were complicated. That's a bias, too. He never talked about any of that, even when we were drunk, so I don't know much about it. Oh, one more thing. Yeah? Hajime was engaged. He'd been seeing his fiancée ever since they were in school, over 10 years. They just started talking about getting married. What was her name again? He showed me a picture once. She was a beautiful woman. That's so. How terrible for her. Well, she may know if there'd been anything going on with him lately. We should speak to her. Yeah, his fiancée may have been his only confidant. I'm sure someone at the Sumida Police Department has already contacted her. I'll look into it tomorrow. Okay, more? Ah, hey boss. I looked into the case that Hajime was running. Oh, great. That's... Oh, wait, no, I think he's serious this time. Oh, great, that's the kind of stuff I want to know. What was Hajime working on the day he died? Well, according to his report from the day before, he had 2 cases involving juveniles. Uh-huh. The first was the suicide of a high school girl who jumped off a building in Kamizawa last week. Ah, yeah, I did hear about that. The girl's name was Michio Shiraishi. She was a second-year student at Komogata High School. But it seems as though Hajime had contact with her even before this incident. So she'd been in trouble for some time. That's the thing. About a month ago, he happened to see her walking around town. She looked upset, so he struck up a conversation with her. He was sure there was something bothering her, but she wouldn't tell him what. Must have been troubled at home. That's what he thought, too. It seems he visited her home and spoke to her parents, but they said there was no problem, so there was nothing else he could do. And now, she's dead. Then it's possible he could have prevented her suicide then. He must have been devastated. And that's why he was looking into this Michio Shiraishi again. He must have thought that something terrible had happened that drove her to end her life. But ultimately, he never reported the findings of his investigation. I see. And you're thinking that it may have something to do with his death. We'll have to find out what it is Hajime discovered. Right, let's check with the Sumida Police Department about that tomorrow, too. And what was the other case he was working? This one is also related to a Komagata High School student. A troublemaker named Hitomi Okuda. She seems to be the leader of a group of kids that get up to no good. Juvenile delinquency. Fun. She was pretty bad for a while. Multiple charges of destruction of property, assault, and battery, you name it. Hajime had been working with her for about 6 months, and she was finally starting to open up. Then he met with the girl the day he died. Oh, every school's got its problems. But I'm sure I'd be worried about how she'd get on without him. Right. Just when she'd finally found an adult she could trust, she might act out without someone to help her get through this. We'll have to make sure the Sumida Community Safety Bureau does their job. But... we can't rule out the possibility that meeting with this delinquent girl had something to do with his death. Then we'll have to interview her, too. Ah, yes, you're right. She may have been the last person to see him alive, after all. I'll ask Sumida to introduce us tomorrow. Though, who knows if they'll actually let us talk with her. That's what we hired you for. Lay a little boyish charm on them if they need convincing. Ah, yeah, I'm sure they'd perform me over a scary-looking old man like you, boss. Watch it, I'm still your superior. You ought to act like you respect me, at least. Oh, I thought I was. You were? Shit, is that just how your generation speaks? You really are a new breed. Sorry for the delay. In combination with my sinuses and trying to do that voice a bunch, I had to cough and blow my nose. But it's okay, I have fun reading the dialogue. It's probably just me, actually. Well, don't think you can get away with that with other people. So, anyways, boss. Were you even listening? We've got quite a bit to look into tomorrow. First, the 2 Komagata High School cases that Hajime was handling. And we need to speak with his fiancée as well. I believe that's it for tomorrow. Notes on Hajime Yoshimi. Okay, case notes regarding his death. One moment, let me drink some drink. Body was found at former Yasta Gardens. Estimated time of death was 2 days ago at approximately 11 a.m. Well, that makes sense with the story chart being so far ahead. Cause of death, acute heart failure. Cause unknown. Signs of a struggle found at the scene. Efforts to locate witnesses underway. The body was discovered by the groundskeeper. Currently investigating the fiancé of the deceased and 2 female students from Komagata High School that the deceased had contact with this person of interest. Okay. Well, it could be that the girl, she was a curse bearer. She could have killed him, or it could just be one of the people we can't play as. Anything else? Okay, no, it's the same. Okay, let's talk about the cause of death. As for the cause of death, we won't know until the autopsy is done. From what we've seen, though, it appears to be some kind of acute heart failure. But since he had no record of chronic illness and had no visible wounds, it's possible that poison or drugs could be involved. Let me look at the corpse for a second. He does seem to be clutching his heart, but I don't know how he stayed like that for 2 days, but... yeah, I mean, I don't see water, so I don't think it was the drowning curse. How did the foot washing mansion kill again? It was like you heard it and then you died, but I don't remember how. Okay, I remember Haruwe, the mature lady. She, her curse was like fire or whatever, right? So it's not her. I don't know. It's probably one of the characters you can't play as, but still. Dying in the middle of the park like that, it certainly seems suspicious. We found signs of a struggle at the scene, as well as footprints belonging to an unidentified individual. We've got people trying to identify those prints. If we can find who they belong to, we might be able to figure this whole thing out. Also, Sutsumi keeps saying, don't, like, don't have biases, even though I'm like speculating already. It's fine. It's fine. Yes, wouldn't that be nice if that were the end of it? The only things Hajime had on him were his badge and his wallet in his pockets. So he can rule out a mugging. Though there probably aren't many people who'd think to try mugging a cop as big as him. I've also heard that Hajime got into a fair few fights in his younger days. He started judo once he became an officer and rose up the ranks quickly. Sounds like the perp would have had to have been pretty strong to take on Hajime. So it probably wasn't a physical altercation. Time of death was around 11 p.m. 2 days ago, outside of the park's operating hours, of course. His body was found early in the morning yesterday. 11 p.m. the day before 11 p.m. the day before yesterday. What was Hajime doing out here at that time in the first place? That's the question, isn't it? The entrance to the park is closed after hours, but it's a small gate that'd be fairly easy for him to get through if he really wanted to. That would, of course, be breaking it, entering, but what do you think, boss? I would think somebody probably called him here. That's the most obvious thing. It's hard to imagine a cop like Hajime would be trespassing for no reason. And since it seems like someone else was here with him, could they have called him here? Oh, that does seem likely. They must have been talking about something pretty sensitive to come here in the middle of the night. So Hajime met someone here to discuss something in secret. And then they got into a fight? No, that wouldn't match the cause of death. There were no wounds on the body that would indicate a spontaneous scuffle. The perp must have planned something. Then you think it was meditated. That would mean they called Hajime to the park with the intent to kill him? Well, there's still the possibility it was some kind of accident. Maybe the perp tried to threaten Hajime and things went south from there. We should be able to get a clearer picture once we know exactly what killed him. Right. Anything new here? Oh, here we go. This is new. On the topic of family, what's yours like, boss? What the hell is wrong with you prying into my personal life all of a sudden? It's just, I've never heard you talk about them or anything. Oh, are you single? Shut it. That's none of your business. Well, ever since I joined the force, I've been thinking, the department really pressures young officers to get married. I wonder why that is. You don't say anything like that, though. How should I know? I came to the pressure myself and got married 20-some years ago. Huh, so then... God, you're relentless. She took our daughter and left 4 years ago. Thanks for reminding me. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't believe she'd give up a guy like you. I was never home too much, too focused on work. I'd come home late, only to get called right back out again. Plus, being a cop is dangerous work. I don't blame her for getting fed up with it all. How sad, especially when you're out here putting your life on the line. Oh, is that why you transferred out of the first? It was already too late by then. You better be careful, Ario. You say that, but there's not much I can do, is it? That's the nature of our job. There aren't many who can really understand it, not unless they're involved with police work themselves or related to someone who is. But wait, you have a daughter, boss? You really think I want to talk about her after all that? Have some sense. Come on, I promise that I don't mean this the way it sounds, but how old is she? Geez, you don't know when to quit, do you? At least try to not look so intrigued. She's a bit rough around the edges. I think most men are intimidated by her. Last I heard, she's living by herself and going to college. Wow, a college student. Men love an educated lady. Stop that. What kind of cop are you making baseless assumptions like that? She's living on her own, though, huh? You must worry about her. Worry? I don't even know where she lives. Oh, so she hasn't told you. Probably because she knows you'd follow around everywhere. I would not. I don't think. Come on now, we both know that's not true. Listen here. You may look like a mean old man, but you sure have a soft side. What? Is that supposed to be a compliment? I can't keep up with you. We're done talking about this. Oh, that reminds me. If you got married 20 years ago, it must have been right around the Nejima murder. You know your history. Yeah, that happened a year or two after our wedding. You were the one who arrested the killer, weren't you? We studied that case at the academy. I was only in elementary school at the time, but I still remember people talking about some dangerous criminal getting arrested. All that was just... cracking the case, finding the guy, it was all just happenstance. I'd really rather not think about it. It was a disturbing case. Did it not make your skin crawl when you learned about it at the academy? It did. We were all terrified. Sounds about right. No one could believe that such a mild-mannered man could have committed such a terrible murder. If we had overlooked one little thing, we maybe never would have caught him at all. I think I remember hearing there was only one charge brought against him in the end. That's right. We didn't have the evidence. I knew there was no way such a meticulously planned crime could have been there first, but we may have struck Fumichika Nejima in a cell, but it was no victory. He always had the upper hand. And all the damage he did to everyone involved, especially the victim's classmates. It's already been 20 years. God damn it. This is why I try not to think about it. I'm sorry. The Nejima murders. A notorious case from over 2 decades ago involving the murder of a female high school student. It first came to the attention of the authorities when part of a human left hand was found discovered floating in the Sumida River. Testing revealed it belonged to a missing female high school student. As it appeared to have been severed deliberately, the police launched a murder investigation. A large-scale search of the river was organized, but the highly polluted state of the water made this impossible. Visibility was poor, the stench was intense, and the divers quickly fell ill. They succeeded in recovering only the victim's head and what appeared to be part of her leg before the search was called off. At the time of the incident, the Sumida River was as polluted as it had ever been. Neither fish nor shellfish could survive in it, eventually causing the annual fireworks festival to be called off indefinitely. Over the course of the search, the police discovered a number of unidentified human bones. This caused a stir among the public, as several other young women had gone missing in recent years in the Tokyo area, and it was feared that they may have fallen victim to the same fate. Forensic technologists at the time, however, were not advanced enough to determine the identities of the deceased, and so the police were unable to open any inquiries. Due to the overwhelming lack of circumstantial evidence, the investigation ground to a halt until a hitherto unrelated individual came to its attention. During a questioning about a separate incident, Fumichika Nejima, a 36-year-old shop owner with no relation to the victim, divulged details about her that had never been released to the general public. An investigation into his background was conducted, leading to his arrest. Nejima testified that he had snatched his victim from the street and confined her in the underground storeroom of his shop, which also served as his living quarters. He chose her for no special reason, but simply decided she was an opportune target on seeing her walking alone at night. After keeping her locked up for several days, he restrained her, sewed her mouth shut, and severed her fingers and toes with a box cutter while she was still conscious. As she screamed silently behind her sealed lips, he proceeded to her wrists, her ankles, her elbows, her knees, working his way inward slowly and methodically. His victim constantly wavered in and out of consciousness. Her ordeal continued until she died of blood loss. Nejima dismembered the rest of her body and disposed of it behind his home in the Sumida River, before cleaning his storeroom and returning to his everyday routine as if nothing had happened. The brutality of his actions shocked the nation when they were eventually reported. Once apprehended, Nejima readily divulged the details of the murder, but was less willing to explain his motive. When asked, he would only break down in tears, saying, "I don't know what came over me. I know it was wrong." In the end, the police could extract nothing more from him than expressions of remorse. Although the efficiency of his method strongly suggested that he had committed similar crimes in the past, no corroborating evidence ever came to light. Nejima was sentenced to life in prison at his first hearing. The sentence was imposed with no appeal from the defendants. Okay. Give me a second before I continue. Whew. I wish my sinuses would just go back to normal. I was sick, and then I wasn't sick, and then I got re-sick. I'm mad. Okay. About the occult. So, all this occult stuff, have you heard about it, boss? What are you talking about? This rite of resurrection thing that everyone's talking about. No, not you too. I've been hearing about that shit everywhere. Oh, you have? That's surprising. Who cares what people are talking about? It's got nothing to do with our job. But don't you think that the occult stuff with this case feels, I don't know, realer somehow? The whole thing started right here in Honjo in Sumida City, so I thought that maybe... Cut it out. Nothing good can come of getting involved with that rite of whatever or that record of fates. Sounds like you know all about it. Boss, are you secretly into the occult? Stop that. Seriously, this is no joke. I get why you'd be intrigued by something called the rite of resurrection after a buddy of yours died, but... Bringing the dead back to life. That's the stuff of fantasy. It's not real. So don't go hoping for miracles. Got it? Oh, sorry. I didn't mute for that cough. That's okay. Okay. That's about it. Huh? What is that? Well, that was everything. Am I crazy? Oh, scene! Oh, I didn't see that. This is where the victim was found. It's clean now. It almost feels as nothing happened here at all. But once an incident like this has come to pass, there's no going back. Not that knowing that is any consolation. Well, boss, I think that about does it. Right, let's call it for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh god, what is that? Huh? Boss? What's wrong? Don't tell me you're going senile. Damn it, it was that case all along. Boss? What is it? Is there something over there? Gah! Such deep sorrow. A resentful memory is flowing into my mind. Always becoming a curse bearer. But does that mean Shunera is about to get got? Kill them. Kill them. Those who spread lies. Kill them all. You've acquired the power of the curse stone, the Evergreen Beach. You can use it to kill those who intentionally try to mislead you. Oh boy, that's not good. Once upon a time in North Okurabashi, a beautiful beech tree stood in the garden of Lord Shinden's residence. Now is the former... Wait, is this the one I... Oh, this is the one I read. Okay, never mind, I read this one. Sorry, let's continue. A curse power, okay, here it is. Kills by hanging one who tries to mislead the curse bearer with false statements. Okay, so it's a death by hanging. We haven't seen anybody die by hanging yet. I don't think. He deceived us with his so-called rite of resurrection. The man who tricked the people with his false dark art swings from a rope. They had thought the man had escaped the previous night, but oddly enough he was found hanging in the garden of the daimyo's mansion that morning. The man, a local named Shinkichi, was known for his kind temperament and skill in crafting Netsuke glasses. While his life wasn't always easy, he was optimistic, the type to smile through whatever life threw at him. He was the kind of man who would take care of those who didn't have anyone else to rely on. The prosperity that the ukiyo-e boom... Ukiyo-e boom? Is this a historical thing? 1 second. Brought must have been what fanned the flames of his greed. The old craftsman was found in a miserable state, as if sentenced to some cruel fate. Perhaps he'd ended his own life, unable to bear the weight of his crime. But dead men tell no tales, and the people thought of him as a bad man, even in death. He hung there for days, till his neck stretched horrifically. A visage of pain still etched on his face. It was clear he must have struggled greatly as he died, his flesh marked with dark scars where the rope wrapped around his whole body. The beech tree's leaves do not fall, and neither did the man's body hanging from it, as if the mansion's owner was not at home, or as the mansion's owner was not at home, another unfortunate event. The people held their tongues, fearing divine punishment, but the rumors persisted nonetheless. Oh, I see. A murderous impulse seeps into my soul like thick black tar. Now, kill. Can you hear it, curse bearer? You who so strongly desires the right. Kill them. Ooh. So, boss, don't be dead. I mean, he's still alive for now. Boss, what's the matter? Don't tell me you really went senile. Sorry. I'm fine. Erio. Yes? I have some bad news. Oh no, your senility is kicking in, isn't it? No, we've got a bit of trouble on our hands. Looks like we'll be working some overtime, and we're not going home tonight. Huh? What are you talking about? Ooh. Okay, so... Nice. Okay. One moment. This, spring season has been a little bit brutal on my sinuses here. I kind of still want to just continue them. I don't think I want to break off just yet. Suzume and Jun are sorting through the facts at the scene of Officer Hajime Yoshimi's mysterious death. Suzume denies the existence of the Rite of Resurrection until the curse echo of the Evergreen Beach appears before them. Okay. Well, I'm glad Jun didn't just die instantly. Like Yoko did. At least there's that. Okay, so let me get this straight, boss. The Rite of Resurrection really exists? And to use it, you have to kill people using the power of curses from the 7 Mysteries of Honjo? And the curse you have is from the story of the Evergreen Beach that's told in this area. Is that right? Yeah, pretty much. You're quick on the uptake. You weren't your usual silly self when you were explaining, so I knew you were telling the truth. I'm never silly. The only thing I have trouble believing is that you're taking this occult stuff seriously now. I mean, talk about paranormal. I thought you didn't believe in any of that. It's not that I don't believe in it, but familiarity with it is why I've tried not to get too close. Are you just being a sore loser? Not used to admitting you were wrong. Oh, shut up and listen to me. No point in trying to hide things anymore. We won't get anywhere if you don't understand this, so listen up. Please, just listen. You don't have to keep saying it, I'm listening. We don't have time to waste, we'll talk as we walk. Hey, wait for me, boss! Alright. Over to the bridge. This music is great. I'm just letting it play for a bit. Okay, let's go to the bridge. I'm so happy to be here with my buddy cop and not have both of us be dead. Sorry, I just want to double check one thing. You're telling the truth, right? This isn't a side effect of your senility. It's the truth. Not like I can prove it, though. Revealing the existence of a secret department is against the rules, even to a fellow cop. But this is an emergency. I need his help. I'll tell him. He's not stupid, but he sure can be slow sometimes. Though I think that positivity of his may come in handy at some point. Okay, I can't just, like, whip out the curse stone, but I should have it. I'm sure you already know this, but this is all top secret. No sharing it with anyone. Right, you can trust me not to. But, no, I just can't believe it. I've heard rumors that you used to be a member of a secret division attached to the Security Bureau. I can't believe we actually have a department called Paranormal Affairs. Yeah, I'm sure it comes as a shock. Hold up, sorry. I couldn't believe it myself. I thought the higher-ups were messing with me. Really had me worried for a while there. No, this is incredible. That's the whole reason I became a cop. I was always fascinated by secret agencies and stuff. You serious? But thinking about it, it totally makes sense. If curses and spirits really do exist, then of course we'd need a special department to protect citizens from them. You seem a bit too eager to believe all this. And hang on, I thought you joined up because of me. Come on, boss. Do you only have one favorite food? You can like more than one thing. Yeah, whatever. In any case, the official stance is that the supernatural doesn't exist, so Paranormal Affairs operates in secret. Still not sure why they stuck me in there. Those 4 years, I worked nothing but cases involving the supernatural. Paranormal Affairs Bureau. Although officially called the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department Security Division, Special Security Unit, Paranormal Affairs Bureau, it is more commonly referred to simply as Paranormal Affairs. Only a handful of people know of its existence, even within the police force. As the name suggests, it specializes in the investigation and resolution of cases involving paranormal phenomena. Since the existence of paranormal phenomena is not public knowledge, nor is it readily believed by the general population, the Bureau's activities are conducted in the utmost secrecy. Currently, there are only 5 members, including the chief. The Bureau has a network of psychic contacts across the country who assist with their cases, including Mio Kurosuzu. The Bureau undertakes investigations into any suspicious stories that cross their desk, though the vast majority turn out to be hoaxes. Due to the sheer volume of cases, close-lipped, experienced detectives without paranormal abilities of their own, such as Tetsuo Tsutsumi, are sometimes assigned to investigate. The current chief of paranormal affairs is a man named Kuiru? Is that how you say that? Anyway, Kuiru Nakagoshi. He was born to a family of psychics who have been involved in keeping the world safe from paranormal phenomena for generations, and has served as Mio Kurosuzu's mentor ever since his career. Kuiru is an elusive figure. Very few have met him in person, and he's rarely seen in the office. It's said that this is because he has often been the target of curses. However, some theorize that it is in fact because Kuiru is not actually of flesh and blood at all. His seat in office is usually occupied by a Nue, a legendary creature found in Japanese folklore. The Nue resembles an ordinary white thrush and acts as Kuiru's messenger, leading to bizarre scenes of police officers earnestly reporting their findings to a bird. The term Nakagoshi case serves as a code name used to refer to cases under investigation by Paranormal Affairs. Okay. I see. Oh? What was new? I said something was new. Oh, here. Jun encountered a Koshaka while investigating a mysterious death. Okay, basically when Tetsuo explained to him that the supernatural really accepted this fact without a moment's hesitation. Okay. Okay, he was possessed by the Evergreen... This is Tsutsumi. He was possessed by the Evergreen Beach curse echo while investigating the former Yasta Gardens, previously a member of the Secret Paranormal Affairs Bureau within the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department Security Division. He makes use of this experience to investigate the ongoing large-scale curse incident with his partner, Junario. Okay. Okay. So, do you know? Do you have it? Have what? Spirit sense, of course. Or are you what they call spiritually gifted? No, I've never felt anything at all. Even if I did, I'd be a lightweight at best. 1 beer and I'm down for the count. Oh, huh. Is that how people in the field quantify someone's spirit sense? Like how much liquor they can handle? Nope, that's just me. Thought it'd help get the point across. Oh, huh. Sorry, seems like I keep disappointing you. No, it's not your fault, boss. At the risk of disappointing you yet again, I'll tell you one more thing. Spirit sense is usually something you're born with. It's tough to develop it later on. What? So there's no hope for me? No, say it isn't so. Of course, you are interested. Well, you never know. You may have some hidden potential. I know there's a high schooler who's got so much spirit sense that she works on the front lines. I say work, but she wasn't paid because it was supposedly part of her training. Yikes, that seems like it would be in violation of Article 69 of the Labor Standards Act. Wow, you really know the law. No comment. Even the occult field has workers' rights issues, huh? So, what do we do now? We've got this Rite of Resurrection and the curse echoes of the 7 mysteries of Honjo. The curse is being spread out around the city is, a bit of an emergency. It's that bad? I'll put it this way. It's like handing out guns all over town. Jeez, that's real bad! It is. So we need to find the source and put a stop to it before something terrible happens. Usually that'd be a job for Paranormal Affairs, but I talked to them on our way here. The main team is tied up until tomorrow night. So they told me to deal with it myself. Said it'd be fine since I have some experience. Huh? What? Then that overtime you mentioned means... Yep, you're gonna help me, partner. Alright, let's do this! You seem a bit too eager to dive in all this. You really have no reservations working a case you know nothing about. You said this was an emergency. I didn't think we had a choice. I'm just trying to be logical about this, boss. You really are something. It might actually be nice having you around. Why, thank you. I keep checking think because I don't know if something's gonna change. 1 second. So, what exactly do we do? If these curses are connected to the 7 mysteries, then the people who have the others should all be here in town. Right. If there's 7 of them, that means there's 6 more out there. And we have to stop them before they kill anyone with their curses. If we can, we should find and collect all the curse stones. But, boss, from what you said earlier, killing a curse bearer gets you closer to completing the rite of resurrection. Won't your life be in danger if they found out you're a curse bearer? Pretty much. We can't let that happen. Should you even be out here right now? Hiding would only be a waste of time. The mystery of the one-sided reed is associated with the Ryogoku Bridge. I was hoping we'd be quick enough to run into the one-sided reed's curse bearer. No such luck, it seems. Well, if nothing else, maybe word will spread that the cops are on the lookout and people will behave. That's putting a lot of trust in whoever these other people are. But it's possible that other curse bearers with the same idea will come here. Talk to anyone you see who seems suspicious. Yeah, that means someone who may have the power of a curse. Understood. In that case, why don't I ask that guy who's been watching us the whole time? What do you know? There is someone there. Good luck. Hey, you there. Sorry to bother you, but I've got some questions. I'm with the police. Isn't that, oh yeah, this is the guy with the foot curse. The foot washing mansion. Which means all he has to do... Well, actually, I don't know how he activates his curse, but I know that if you hear the voice, people die. I don't know if I need to mute the voice again now, though. I guess we'll find out soon. Thanks for your cooperation. We'll be asking you a few things, Mr. Yutaro Namigaki. That's your name, correct? Yes. I don't mind answering your questions. You're a detective? Did something happen? Oh, right. Lots of things have been happening around here. Like people dying. If this were a normal case, I'd be fine letting him take the reins. But curses are involved here. I should take over. So, what to make of this guy? The man identifies himself as Yutaro Namigaki, a 21-year-old college student. He was watching us so calmly. We need to be careful with this guy. Boss, let's talk to this guy. Okay. So, what is it that you were doing here? Ah, it must be the incident at the former Yasta Gardens. The dead policeman. I can't imagine a detective would come all the way out here otherwise. Say, Mr. Detective. Have you ever heard of the Evergreen Beach? Okay. I'm thinking, so before when I was doing the Shogo Okie path, before his power got activated, he was like, oh, so you don't want to talk? And then he activated his power. So I'm thinking that maybe if I ignore, like, not ignore, but if I, like, don't talk with him the way he wants me to, maybe he can activate his power? I'm not sure. One of the 7 mysteries of Honjo, right? What do you ask? I was just looking for it. Actually, I was wondering if either of you knew anything about it. I don't know, or not here? If it's the Evergreen Beach you're after, you'd be better off looking around the former Yasta Gardens than here. Oh, you know a lot about this. But that's what I thought. Detectives, you have the curse stone of the Evergreen Beach, don't you? You? How did you know? Dang it, Ariel! Ariel, you idiot. Well, that was much easier than expected. Ah, crap, sorry. It was simple inference. I figured you would have taken the curse if you were just in the gardens. If you know that, then you must be a curse bearer yourself. I have no intentions of hiding anything. I plan to tell you from the start. Look. This is my curse stone. I believe it's called the Foot Washing Mansion. That's right. But are you sure about this? I'm not so rash that I'd kill someone as soon as I found out they were a curse bearer. Not without talking to them first. You're the same, aren't you, detectives? You wouldn't use a curse on a normal person. Let's speak as equals, shall we? Boss? Sure. We'd rather resolve this amicably, too. I mean, I could have used the curse, but, like, again, I'm a detective. I'm not trying to kill these people. I'm just trying to, like, make the world safer. Though you are a curse bearer, so please be careful. Fortunately, I don't think he knows which one of us is the curse bearer yet. If we play things right, we should be okay. He really is a curse bearer. He may only be talking about this to try to activate his curse. Not to be wary of anything he asked me to do. I could tackle him and pin him to the ground, but that might have something to do with his curse. Any slip of the tongue could get us killed. I'll have to try and discern what activates his curse. So, what do I do? But before we talk, there's something I should tell you. This is my curse stone. The Evergreen Beach, just like you thought. What? Boss, why did you tell him? That's how the curse works. Boss, you having another senior moment? If you tell him that... It hangs to death anyone who would try to mislead me. So, if you try to lie to me, the curse stone lets me know. I don't have to use it to tell. Understand? Whoa, really? That's super useful. I see. Understood. That's a pretty useful power for a detective. Now then, let's talk. Damn, it seems I've lost the upper hand. No point for petty tricks then. I'll be honest with you. He says this, you use curse bots on my screen. So far, so good. I see. He's warning him now that there's no point in lying. I had no idea a simple lie would set off the curse stone, though. I could... Oh, okay, this is the same one. This is the second time, one second. There's someone I want to bring back. So I'd like your assistance in collecting soul dregs. So this is... He asked a Shogo for help as well. Maybe that's the curse, Do you think that's the curse, conditions? Is asking someone for help and being denied? Like when someone refuses to help you, maybe? Something like that? Can't help you. Please. All you have to do is tell me who the other curse bearers are. Sorry, but as a police officer, I can't just look the other way and let you go. Please, if you help me, I'll let the two of you go as well. Is that a threat? No. It's your final warning. I mean, part of me wants to use the curse. I feel like this is like the time in which you would use the curse. But I'm still a police officer. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Skirt! We're just gonna preemptively do this. Ugh. My curse, the Foot Washing Mansion. Did you really think you could escape it just by being careful? It didn't matter to me which one of you was the curse bearer. I'll be taking both of your soul dregs anyway. Wait, Namigaki! The Foot Washing Mansion is a powerful curse, and so simple to activate. It is ready whenever I need it. There's no escape from the voice of my feet. Apparently I can use the curse because that's also a lie, but again, like, I'm still a detective. The problem is if I don't kill him, is he gonna kill Ario? That's the issue. I still try, like, I don't know. I feel like if this was like a real situation, I would definitely just curse him at this point, because he's already said he's gonna kill us both. Because, okay, I do want to see what happens, but then also... Using the curse is the obvious point, yeah. Ario, get out of here, hurry, I'll find you later. What? Okay. Too late! Hear the voice of my curse echo! The voice of his curse echo. What? Why isn't my curse echo working? Impossible, this has never happened. What's happening? I don't hear anything. There we go, now, grab him! Oh, okay, so it did work a second time. But I clicked use curse, though. Namigaki, get down! Yeah, damn it! Boss, here is curse stone. Good work, give it to me. Wait. Did I not use the curse, then? Okay, well, here's the thing. I was afraid... Okay, well, this worked a second time, by the way. I was afraid that if I didn't kill him, that he would kill Aria. Like, I wouldn't die because I turned my volume down. But I don't think... I know this sounds really stupid, but I don't know if that would apply to Aria. And I don't want him to die. What do you think, boss? Should we lock him up? I haven't even touched you. You can't consider the assault of a police officer? Let him go. All we need is the stone. How could this happen? By right of resurrection. Give it up. The rhyme was too good to be true from the start. I don't know what happened to you, but you'd be better off mourning whoever you lost the right way. Now get out of here. Damn it. Ooh, that was a close one, huh, boss? We'd probably be dead if he had activated his curse. Yeah, I'm not sure what, but something stopped his curse from... Boss, are you okay? Does having another curse stone hurt? Yeah, the curse from this one's flowing into me too. Oh no. Sorry. I saw what activates the curse at the foot washing mansion, and the resentful memories bound to it. I see. I always thought this was one of the stranger of the 7 mysteries. Now I know why. This sure is something. What did you see? Let's save that for later. All you need to know is for now, the particularly powerful curse. We're lucky we took it from him quickly. Ooh. This is the story of something that occurred in the dead man. Okay, this is... Okay, here we go. Kills by crushing one who hears the command wash. Okay. She was an accomplished onmyoji. Alas, she did not use her talents for the good of the world or the people, but for her own selfish pursuit of beauty. After a fierce battle, the woman dragged herself through the streets. It was like something had gnawed away at her body. Will I die? I've already obtained what I needed, as long as I have this. Suddenly, a terrible realization dawned on her. Her legs wouldn't move. She fell to the ground. What was happening? Surprised, she looked down. Her foot, once so beautiful and delicate, had grown ulcerated and rotten. He got her. She was on the very verge of death and covered in filth to boot. Crawling to a nearby house, her breath caught in her throat. The curious residents opened up and recoiled from what they saw. My foot is so filthy. Someone, please, quickly. The woman expired while mumbling something unintelligible. And so ended the life of a woman consumed by evil. So the actual story was that there was an evil lady, and somebody apparently damaged her foot to a point where it killed her. And I guess the curse is that they didn't take care of her foot or something. I don't know if it's about the actual people that didn't help her in time. Well, anyway. Well, that makes one stone. Where do we go now? We'll visit all the places associated with the mysteries while it's still dark out. You mean we have to do that all over again? I hope they aren't all as aggressive as him, but people will do crazy things to bring back someone they love. It seems that the hatred the curse stones are imbued with makes people more willing to kill. Really? Then what about you, boss? I'm fine. I may not have any spirit sense, but I'm tough when it comes to this stuff. That's why they love me in paranormal affairs. So you are spiritually gifted after all. Alright, let's head to the next place. Okay, it looks like I did it. Okay, so there's not like an alternative scene. I guess there wasn't really... Was there a way for you to lose? I mean, I guess so. Probably if I didn't turn the volume down. Or maybe if I killed him? But when I clicked use curse because he was like an imminent threat, right? Like at this point he said, I'm going to kill you both. I felt like at that point, you know, he was an imminent threat. So I clicked use curse but didn't actually use it. So maybe It's just like in the first path where I never really had the option to use curse. I didn't want to use it, so it's fine, but... Okay. We're going to the park. Who is that? I don't know who that is. Okay. Sutsumi and Ario decide to collect the curse stones as soon as possible before they become the cause of an unprecedented tragedy. The two obtain the foot-washing mansion from Yutaro Namigaki and head to their next destination. God, I hope I get better from this sinus stuff soon, because it's I like playing this game a lot. Like, it's really fun, but it's hard to do the voices and stuff when I have to keep coughing and blowing my nose. It's pain. Midori Chill Park. Excuse me, sorry to bother you, but we have some questions for you. What? Are you with the police? I haven't done anything. Don't worry, this isn't an interrogation or anything, we just want to talk. You're Hideki Araishi, right? The historian? We know who you are, so this won't take long. But since we saw you here, we'd just like to ask you a couple of questions. Local history researcher. I'm going to be honest, he doesn't seem particularly threatening, but, you know, Shogo didn't seem particularly threatening either in that one path he was PvPing. Hideki is a historian who works part-time as a curator at the local folk museum and as a teacher at Komogata High School. His recent publication on the Rite of Resurrection has caused a stir in occult circles. Hideki is the quintessential obsessive researcher. Despite being entirely unsuited for teaching, he had no choice but to take up a position at Komogata High School in order to make ends meet. While having a captive audience in his classes goes somewhere to satisfying his need for respect and recognition, his conceited nature makes him unpopular among the students. Lately, he's concerned that the articles he contributed for purely monetary reasons have earned him a reputation as a researcher of the occult. But the surge of interest in the topic and the resulting volume of article requests he is receiving are undeniably tempting. Hideki is a regular at the Kurikikyo Cafe on Hokusai Street, where he can be found outside his work hours writing essays and manuscripts. His published books include A Study of the Unknown and An Introduction to Bondo History. Oh, and here's, apparently there was some new update. Did I ever read Yutaro's thing? I don't remember if I ever read this. Anyway, apparently he was very rich, because maybe I did read it. Well, he was very rich, and the only kindness he knew was from the family maid. He still fondly thinks of the plain rice with butter they used to enjoy together. Okay. Well, let's get it over with. I'm a busy man. Hideki Araishi. He says he's a local historian, but supposedly he knows more about the Rite of Resurrection than anybody. The fact that he's here this time of night, it's plenty possible that he's a curse bearer. Questioning people like this can put unnecessary stress on them depending on their position. This guy's pretty sharp. I like to play it safe and only push him when I see an opening. From appearances, it's hard to imagine this small, bookish, well-spoken man being very dangerous. But in this day and age, you never know. I should be careful. Boss, let's ask Hideki some questions. Now, Mr. Araishi, what were you doing here at this time of night? Doing research, of course. Day or night, information never sleeps. That's an admirable philosophy. You know, your research has been quite the talk around town. What was it they were saying? You discovered something about some book. Ah, right, you found some kind of ritual in the Record of Fates. What? Don't tell me you want to know how to carry out the Rite of Resurrection too? To be perfectly honest, I'm tired of people asking me about it all the time. None of you even care about the local history. You just come crawling out of the woodwork when something interesting comes up. Looks like I hit a nerve. If you think you can force me to tell you just because you're a policeman, you're sorely mistaken. Was the research you were doing just now also related to the rite of resurrection? Well, yes, that's right. What exactly were you looking for? I have no reason to tell you that. You wouldn't understand anyway. Oh. That was that. Are you doing all this research so that you can use the rite of resurrection yourself? Huh. You're a policeman. Do you really think people can be brought back to life? Everyone I meet, pitiful. Huh, so you don't believe in the rite? Whether it's real or not has nothing to do with my research. Such things are better left to the occult freaks. Or so I thought. Huh? Things change. It's become necessary for me to pursue the rite. So now I pray that it is real. What changed? I'm sure you can imagine. The funds for my research. I receive a large amount of funding for seeking the rite of resurrection. And if I find it, I'll receive a sum so great I'll never have to worry about your money again. Or never worry about money again. Oh, then that means someone is sponsoring your research, is that right? So what if they are? You have no idea how hard we work to secure funding for our research. I have no interest in teaching those children. Listen to me, I'll tell you one thing. Those experts you see writing provocative books or spouting nonsense on TV to try and get popular, all of them are just trying to get the money they need to do their research. With how popular the occult is, saying something even remotely spooky can lead to big money. What? But I bought your book! The pursuit of the unknown begins first and foremost with belief. I was so inspired by that bit. I do appreciate your patronage. Unfortunately, however, the occult is not my true interest. The fate of the unknown is to be destroyed by thorough research and deep consideration. No way. I can't believe it. You're surprisingly innocent. Then what kind of research do you want to be doing? I'm sure it wouldn't interest you, but to put it simply, the focus of my research is how historical accounts transform into folklore over the years as they are passed down from generation to generation. What does that mean? Due to human bias, the account of any event is inevitably changed by the person communicating it. This is not necessarily done with ill intentions. It happens when someone tries to fill in the gaps in a story that lacks detail, or when something's left out or abridged because of the story's length, or when a story twists and shifts and spread through oral tradition. Even when two stories are told about the same event, differences in culture or environment affect how it's told, changing its content. Silly little things can turn into terribly mysterious legends. My research is the study of how history, culture, and legend all influence one another. I see. Take the 7 Mysteries of Honjo, for example. Why are some of the mysteries seemingly about nothing particularly interesting? You'd think the stories wouldn't last a decade, let alone hundreds of years, so why? Perhaps putting it that way piques your interest? I admit, I am curious. So that's what you've been researching all this time. Makes sense. As I said, it doesn't matter to me whether the rite exists or not. If people in the Edo period believe that that's what was written in the record of... If people in the Edo period believe that what was written in the records of fate was real... I can't say the sentence for some reason, I apologize. That's all I'm interested in. I just keep checking things again because I never know and there might be something new. But I have to be realistic. The research I'd like to do is unfortunately not very lucrative. That's why I need to take some risks. This record of fates, where did you get your hands on it? The storehouse of an old private residence in the city, just as the public was told. I'm unable to be more precise due to an agreement with my informant. Well, in that case, I think I might have a guess as to what it is you were looking for. What? Damn it, if you know about that, then calm down. No need to get so defensive. Okay. Give me a second. I think I'm gonna show it. We both want information, right? Why don't we have a nice, friendly chat? A curse stone! You are a curse bearer! A leaf! It is the Evergreen Beach, then. Yep. Will you show me yours? This is mine, the ever-burning lantern. Interesting. I'm gonna just play it the same way he played it before. I'll tell you this for free. The Evergreen Beach comes from a man who was hanged for spreading false rumors. But the accusations against him were unfounded, and he died cursing those who deceived him. Ah, so that is the resentful memory held within the Evergreen Beach. The memories of the 7 mysteries are truly fascinating. If only I could collect them all. Do whatever you want, but you should know something. This stone of mine lets me curse anyone who tries to mislead me. What? But... So don't try and lie to me. I'll know. You would curse a citizen, and you call yourself an officer of the law. That all depends on you. I don't want to use it if I don't have to. Well, what is it that you want? The curse stones are dangerous. I'd like to confiscate yours. Excuse me, but am I right? First, let me ask you one thing. You haven't used that curse, have you? No, of course I haven't, I swear! Use curse flashing at the top left. Okay, so let's think for a second. We are in a dangerous position. Like, we are in a dangerous position because, well, we don't know what the ever-burning lantern's curse is. Or its conditions. I see. Good. Now, why don't you hand over that stone? Unless you'd rather try using it on me instead. Damn you, I won't give it to you. If I were to say that, what would happen? Would it be a crime? The police are aware of how dangerous the stones are. I could arrest you under Article 1, Section 2 of the Minor Offenses Act. Or you hand it over and all you lose is your secret ability. Think of what would happen to all your research if you were arrested. Fine. You can have the stone. Here. Did I do it? Like, for real? I'm a little bit scared. I'm scared that I'm just gonna explode at some point. Okay. Okay, this is the darkness one from earlier. Okay, we did see this one. I wasn't sure because there's the light one and the darkness one. Or, well, there was the darkness one, but I didn't know if that was the beckoning light or if it was the ever-burning lantern. Yeah. But the legend of the ever-burning lantern said that it was a legend of a lantern that never went out, but then also another telling in which the Sobakart's lantern always remains dark. So the truth, I guess, is the dark one. Anyway, so we found this one out. Kills by disembowelment, one who finds themselves trapped in darkness of the curse. We found that. Now, that said, there wasn't any darkness around Araishi. Does it have to be in that one location? Or was he just not using it? I don't know. Because, like, last time... Yeah, I'm not really sure. When Honjo was filled with samurai residences, the spies of the shogunate lived amongst the townspeople to keep an eye on things. The Sobakart on South Warigesui served as one of their outposts. They would communicate to each other in code by turning the lantern on or off. Tonight, at 4 a.m., meant that someone would be having the last soap of their life, and that their belly would be sliced open the next night. An unfortunate incident occurred in which a man attacked a woman in a bout of fury. He regretted it deeply, even declining to invoke the right to defend his honor, but the deed was done. Still, he could not accept it. His rage at having been used by his daimyo boiled over, turning into a grudge he would never forget. Nearby, he saw a lantern, quietly glowing in the night, and when the 6th bell rang, the man cut his own stomach open. Since then, the lantern could be seen alight before the Sobakart had opened, and would flicker out suddenly, even when there was no wind blowing. As this unsettling phenomenon continued, the rumors surrounding it grew, and soon all were convinced that it was the man who cut open his stomach visiting from beyond. Okay. Good choice. I look forward to seeing how your research pans out. So, I will say this. I feel safer immediately because I got his curse stone. But thinking about it, I had 2 curse stones. So, any person that I come in contact with could have more than one as well. I mean, I am a detective, and he did say not to have biases. It's a bad idea to assume that if I have two or more, now I've got three. It's a bad idea to assume that people only have one. Oh, right. Would you tell us everything you know about what's been going on here? If you help us out, we'll give you all the information we've gotten after we solve the case. What do you say? In that case, will you tell me all about the resentful memories of the Seven Mysteries? I believe they are the key to the secret hidden in the Record of Fates. Sure, why not? I'll learn about them as I collect the curse stones. But thanks to you, we learned a lot from him. I wonder. The mysteries in the ride are all public information. He kept everything he knows about the other curse bearers and the source of the curse here hidden. I was hoping to at least give us a clue about how to beat these curses. Oh, I see. Then we should be more aggressive next time. Really make them spit it out. And by we, I mean you. I'm guessing he wants to save this curse. He wouldn't have told us anything no matter what we asked. But now we know where he hangs out. We can always send someone for him if we need. Right. Got it. I was surprised to hear that there are actually 9 of the 7 mysteries, though. Yeah, that's 2 extra curse bearers we have to find. We've confiscated 2, so there's 6 more. They could be anywhere in this town. We have to find them fast. They may start using the curses. No, I think we're already too late. Huh? I didn't tell you this, but there were some soul dregs in Namigaki's curse stone. Really? Then he's already killed someone with it? It's not much, so it probably wasn't a curse bearer. Shit. Well, we know who did it. We can make arrangements to take him into custody. We'll have Paranormal Affairs pick him up tomorrow. For now, we continue our search. Right, on to the next place. We just have to cross them off the list one by one. Oh, but, boss? Good to know we can use the Minor Offenses Act to arrest people with curse stones. But why didn't we do that with Namagaki? If we could do that, there'd be no need for Paranormal Affairs. What grounds would a normal detective have to put him under arrest? Oh, right. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Yeah, that was just like a bluff, basically. Okay, it's dark. I guess we're... Oh, I can't do it. Okay, we got to the end of the current Tetsuo. Now, this is where... Yeah, okay, I was going to say, isn't this where Shogo showed up that one time? Of course... Huh. Yeah, this is where Shogo had showed up in the park, and then he goes... I mean, he eventually gets... I mean, he lives all the way to here and then gets killed. Okay. Okay, there's Haruo, and there's Yako. Okay. I'm sorry about the coughing and stuff. I'm just trying to give myself a moment to breathe before I continue. Sheesh. We'll go ahead and do Haruo's probably. Not dreams. Haruo Shigema. When the son of Haruo Shigema was kidnapped, a botched investigation by the police resulted in the child's murder. 1 year later, Haruo has hired a private investigator to help resolve the unsettled case. Late at night, while speaking to the detective at her home, something strange suddenly appears. So this guy is actually a private detective? Oh my god. Well, there's the fire thing. Those who mock fire's fury will perish in flame. Kill them. Kill them. The flame bearers. Kill them all. You have acquired the power of the curse stone, the haunting clappers. Oh, that's what this one was? You can use it to kill those with fire or a fire-starting device on that person. Kills by burning one who's in possession of fire or a fire-starting device. So it was the clappers. Red, red, red. Everything is dyed crimson. My home is burning to the ground. It's hot. So hot. I must call for help, but I cannot speak. My throat must be burned up from the smoke. No, I think I'm already on fire. That's right, I'll just use the clappers. Clack, clack. Is anybody there? Clack, clack. Why is no one coming? I'm going to burn to death. How did it come to this? Oh, right. Her. It must be the work of that vixen who suddenly appeared and enchanted my lord, that witch. Those hauntingly cold eyes that had my lord dancing in the palm of her hand. Perhaps I was also taken in by her. How many innocent people did I lure in under orders? This must be karma. The sound of a heavy bell. It feels like my head will split open. Ah, right, the evening bell. That must be why nobody can hear the sound of my clappers. I've got to do it louder. Clack, clack. Okay. A murderous impulse seeps into my soul like thick black tar. Now. Kill. Can you hear it, curse bearer? You who so strongly desires the right. Kill them. I'm surprised I got through the detective's path with no death, actually. I never died in that one. Hardaway Shigema, 12 a.m., okay. Shigema Mansion Reception Room. Back with me, ma'am? Can't say I understand what just happened, but it certainly seems to have put you in a good mood. This might be the first time I've ever seen you really smile. Sweet dreams. Housewife Haruo Shigema. Okay. Let me see. So okay, I don't think her I think this is the only part I found. The incident was covered up in Shuichi's killer remains, because I never heard Shuichi. Did I? Until she died, I mean. Her 11-year-old son was kidnapped and murdered. It was based on a mistake from the police. The incident was covered up, and so she called on Richter Kai to uncover the truth. Okay, did she get my family? I can't remember if I read this last time or not. I'll just read it. The Shigema family came from a line of samurai who built the residence in Honjo during the Edo period. They assumed important positions in the police force following the Meiji Revolution. Is that what it... Wait, is there a Meiji... I thought there was a Meiji Restoration. Is that two different things? Is there a Meiji Revolution and a Meiji Restoration? Or am I just remembering wrong? Thereby protecting their family's elevated status. Even today, many in the Shigema line work as police bureaucrats and senior police officers. Harue's father sits in the upper echelons of the National Police Agency, and her husband, adopted into the Shigema clan through an arranged marriage, is also a highly respected agency official. However, as her family prioritizes work above all else, it wasn't long before Harue's marriage grew cold. Though she wants for nothing, she's isolated from her neighbors and withdrawn from society. Seeing her son grow into a young man gave Haruo a purpose in life, but it was cut short by the kidnapping incident. Following the incident, Haruo spent many days in a deep depression, breaking into sudden fits of shouting and wandering around in the middle of the night. Her cheerful, loving disposition faded away, and she took to making snide remarks to her husband, which only further soured their relationship. A few months ago, Harue's husband was transferred to another area for work and now rarely returns home. With Haruo left to live in the large empty mansion alone as a housekeeper... as a housekeeper who has been with the family for a long time comes in to take care of all the housework, Haruo has nothing but time on her hands. Okay, so she has literally nothing to do and she's just alone. Okay, unfortunate. No. Not dreams. Sounds like something I might want to hear about. My heart's still racing. This is it. My chance, at long last. A fax machine. I can send images to other places along the telephone network. I don't really know how it works. Most houses don't have one. I rarely found a use for it. Don't know how it works. When was this game set again? The telephone. This mansion is a private line. Like, I know how to use a fax machine and a rotary phone, but I'm old, I guess, so... The funny part is these sinuses probably make me sound like the voice I'm trying to do for Susumi, but... whatever. I don't have a deep voice normally, though, at all. so that's why it's hard to do. An old hanging scroll. I don't know who painted it. It's been hanging here since before I was born. An arrangement of flowers. We bring in someone to do it. I don't even know what the flowers are called. A private investigator I hired. A friend told me about him. They said he's not very well known, but he's good at what he does. When I first visited his office in Ota City and saw how he was dressed, I could hardly believe he was a detective. But after talking to him for a while, I changed my mind. He says some strange things at times, but he seems like the reliable sort. Okay. Okay, after taking on a request from Haruo Ishigama to investigate the unsolved kidnapping murder of her son, he gets caught up in the events surrounding the Rite of Resurrection. Once a police officer, Richter was racked with guilt over the police's inability to help all those in need and quit the force to start his own private investigation firm. However, his soft-hearted nature leads him to take on too many cases and has put his office in dire financial straits. Now, how he's still in business is a mystery, with some whispering that a wealthy patron is keeping him afloat. Richter studied along Detective Junario at the police department. Somewhat surprisingly, given his outlandish clothing and mannerisms, Richter excels at covert investigations and tailing his targets. He proudly refers to himself as an investigator extraordinaire, though that only ever succeeds in impressing himself. Richter's biggest source of happiness is nuzzling his pet female albino parakeet Ernestine, which he keeps in his office. He also enjoys collecting mockingbird stickers, a popular line of merchandise featuring birds inexplicably dressed like delinquents, and can be frequently sighted searching around town for them. While out and about, Richter typically leaves the office, and more importantly, Ernestine, in the care of Amamori, a junior high schooler who volunteered to assist Richter after being involved in a previous case. Okay. Oh, and a file? The Azure Heron Agency. Richter Kai's private investigation firm in Kamata, Ota City. Originally, Kai thought to give it a simple name like Kai's Detective Agency. Oops. I just slap my keyboard back. Okay. Making sure I didn't blow something up. But upon hearing that people are more likely to pick names listed at the front of the phone book alphabetically, he decided to pick a name starting with A. Thus, the Azure Heron Agency was established. However, it is questionable whether the heron, a bird of somewhat ominous significance, is an effective symbol for attracting customers. Even his own assistant has referred to the name as confusing at best. After all, rather than an azure heron, Richter keeps a white parrot as a pet, and dresses not in blue, but mostly in white. If there was a symbolic connection to be made here, it surely has been lost on all but Richter himself. A private investigator, also known as a private eye, is a detective who operates their own agency. Although there are no formal qualifications necessary to become a private investigator, many are retired police agents or detectives, due to the similarities between the work involved. At a glance, private investigation firms and inquiry offices might look similar, but they carry out different types of investigations. Inquiry offices specialize in conducting credit checks on businesses, while private investigators are generally involved in tailing persons of interest and gaining information surreptitiously. Okay. Just looking around my room. Jeez, that's a big one. A stereo unit with separated speakers designed for home use. My husband insists on buying one even though he doesn't want to listen to music often. Well, I'll be damned. Is that what I think it is? Goodness, you made me jump. It's just a silly little sticker my son got from somewhere or another. He put it up just before... Well, you know what happened. I still can't bring myself to take it down. Let me take a closer look. I knew it. It's Head Hencho from way back in set number 1. This is a real collector's item. Excuse me? Don't tell me you've never heard of the Mockingbirds. Oh, what? They're the hottest new craze. Cute little birds dressed up like rough and tumble delinquents. I've never heard of them, but this certainly seems to matter to you. The best part is, nobody knows who made them. They just started showing up around town, and soon enough, they won everybody's hearts. The story goes that they're made by some anonymous artist who covertly leaves them behind in specific locations. No one knows when or where they'll show up next. They're basically an urban legend of sorts. To think one would turn up here of all places. This is a good sign, I'm sure of it. Oh, well, that's nice. Oh. Oh. Interesting. These popular Burma stickers seem to pop up everywhere. Be in the right place at the right time in Honjo, and you might be able to find all 20 of them. Was there some on the other path? Huh. A color television. Father bought one as soon as it hit the market. He likes to have the latest gadgets. Unlike the latest models, there is no remote control. We've had it for a long time. Back when it was new, we all gathered around it and marveled at it as a family. But with Father and my husband being away so often, it quickly fell into disuse. Swinging of the pendulum echoes through the room. It feels livelier than usual with Richter here. Usually it's just me. The guest table. I don't know where Father got this old thing from, but I've never liked it. I believe that's all the surroundings. Oh, the chandelier. The lights. The chandelier is the only thing in here that's my choice. It's my favorite part of the room. Huh. Okay. Alright, let's talk to him. Let me bring you up to speed. We were in the middle of a chat when you suddenly started spacing out. And the whole time you were grinning to yourself like you just won the lottery. Care to tell me what that was all about? Well, where to start? Interesting. Very interesting. My accent for this guy might be different than the first day, but I'm just leaning into the southern accent I already have for this guy. He looks like he'd put on something like that. This guy would definitely speak in a accent. I don't know. There's no voice acting for this, but they probably put him in like Kyoto Ben or something. So, the haunting clappers and curse echo appeared out of nowhere. Told you how to perform the rite of resurrection, and gave you the curse you'll need to do it. Have I got that right? That's right. So it's all real. Honestly, I still find it hard to believe. But I guess I have to now. I saw that curse stone appear in your hand myself. It looked like it popped clean out of thin air. With evidence that clear, there's no denying that there's some supernatural force at work. I don't think you quite understand. Oh? This isn't about evidence, and it isn't about belief. It's more than that. I know it's real. The moment the curse appeared, I knew everything before it even said a word. It was already there in my head, as clear as day. You just knew, huh? It was etched onto my soul, along with the curse echo's resentful memories. So I can feel it, what it was like. Dying like they did, hundreds of years ago. Wreathed in flame, writhing in pain as my flesh blackens and my blood boils. I can feel it. All the agony, all the rage. It fills me with bloodlust. I think I need to kill someone. Anyone will do, just as long as they're carrying fire. I see. That could be a problem. You think so? From what I know of you, I was sure you'd see it as an opportunity. The stronger the desire to resurrect someone, the stronger the urge to kill. That's how it seems to me, anyway. Good grief. Talk about a spanner in the works. I say we take stock for a moment. Remind ourselves where we've come from and where we're going. That might be a good idea. That's what you hired me for, ma'am. To look into your son's kidnapping last year. To uncover the truth behind the abduction and murder of Shuichi Shigema. Oh yes, I remember. They never did find the one who did it. That's what I'm here about today, in fact. Kinda you to let me drop by so late, by the way. I've been turning over every last stone, and I've come up with a grand total of 1 lead. So you said. As far as the police are concerned, it's a cold case, but I've managed to make some headway. I remember you were just about to tell me. Okay, 1 second. I'm still having to blow my nose constantly. Okay. The Shigema kidnapping overview. A kidnapping murder case that took place in Honjo, Sumida around 1 year ago. Haruo Shigema's son, Shuichi, age 11, was kidnapped on his way home from school with a ransom being demanded that same evening. Initially, the kidnapping was thought of as a simple extortion scheme, but when it came to light that the Shigema family was closely tied to the police, and Shuichi was in fact the grandson of a senior official, it was quickly assumed that the perpetrator was acting upon a grudge against the police force. The kidnapping was treated as a direct attack against the good name of the police, and a large-scale investigation was launched that used the best equipment available to trace phone calls. This made it all the more embarrassing when they were unable to catch the culprit, losing the public's confidence. The culprit grew cocky, relentlessly mocking the police force. After 3 days of failure after failure, Haruo reached a breaking point. Spurred by concern for her son, she resolved to hand over the ransom money as fast as possible, but her husband and father, who held the prestige of the police in high regard, refused, saying they would not let the criminal win by giving in to their demands. The increasingly frantic detective assigned to the case lost his temper when the criminal called to give an ultimatum, causing the culprit to never make contact again. Another week passed and Shuichi's body was found floating in the Sumida River. Shuichi's death could be largely ascribed to the police's incompetence, but this was ultimately covered up with stringent media embargoes. The investigation was never closed, but the case is long gone cold. So the case went cold. It's only been a year? I guess it must have been covered up. How does a case go cold in a single year? I mean, maybe I just don't know how cold cases work, but my understanding is that cold cases, that's typically like over a decade or something. I mean, not that there's that much progress on it, but usually somebody's looking into it for a while. Oh, here, it's Shuichi. Okay. The only son of Haruo Shigema. He was kidnapped and murdered 1 year ago. His body was floating in the Sumida River. Shuichi was a conscientious, brave young boy who was determined to protect his mother Haruo amid his father's frequent absences. He dreamed of becoming a police officer and displayed diligence and an impressive sense of responsibility from a young age, likely due to being raised in an extremely strict environment. Born in the early 70s, he spent his days immersed in various activities and studies, including playing piano, learning the abacus, taking English lessons, and training in kendo. Shuichi's tendency to put other people's needs above his own means he died without ever telling his classmates how much he longed for them all to go out on a hunt for mockingbird stickers. You know, we still have to figure out exactly what you want me to do. Tell you what, why don't I tell you what I found and then we can make a decision. Alright. Okay. I suppose there's not much point going over the kidnapping itself. No, I'm very familiar. Then I'll leave that for the files to cover and just confirm a few things about the case. The police traced the culprit's calls back to, let's see here, Northern Oyoko River here in Sumida City. That's quite a wide area. That's right. In the end, they never managed to nail down exactly where the calls were coming from. But it was almost certainly the same location that Shuichi was being held captive, since Shuichi's voice could be heard during the killer's calls. Northern Oyoko River is quite a distance from Shuichi's normal school commute. Factoring in that he was never seen at school but went missing before he arrived at his house, it's likely that he was abducted by car on his route home. Maybe, but exactly. Shuichi was a clever boy. He never would have gotten into a car with a stranger. That's right. I was very firm about that. I know he understood, too. I even saw him warning the other children. It's possible that they forced him into the car. The only issue there is, there weren't any witnesses to the kidnapping. You can't bundle someone into a car with that many students around and not be noticed. But nobody came forward to say they saw anything suspicious. So did they target him at some other time? Or somewhere away from his usual route? Both of those seem a little far-fetched. Which raises the question, how did the kidnapper pull it off? The police never managed to find an answer. In the end, they decided that the kidnapper must have just gotten lucky. Well, why not turn the problem on its head? Okay. I feel like my stuffy nose and sinuses are getting worse reading this stuff. I figured it'd be better to shake it up. But I almost feel like it's getting worse over time. Anyway. The kidnapper managed to convince Shuichi to get in their car, but how? The only thing that makes sense to me is if there was somebody that he would have a reason to trust. A teacher, perhaps, or a relative, or someone else that he knew. But all of the adults Shuichi knew had alibis. The police checked them all thoroughly. They did, huh? No one throws numbers at a problem like the cops. But what if it wasn't someone he knew? Or rather, what if the culprit disguised themselves as a police officer? That would explain why he didn't find them suspicious. The Shigema family has close ties with the police, after all. He would have had a reason to trust them. You might be right. But surely that couldn't have... Well, there's a problem with the theory. You'd be surprised how much police officers stand out. That's sort of the point, after all. They're meant to be a visible deterrent against crime. But here's another interesting little bit of trivia I happen to know. When you ask people to imagine someone suspicious, nobody pictures women and children. Even kids who've been warned about stranger danger often subconsciously expect that danger to look like an adult man. Besides, Shuichi was the sort of boy who wanted to be a police officer when he grew up. He must have had a very strong sense of right and wrong. That's right. Wait, surely you can't mean... Now you're getting it. If, say, a young woman approached Shuichi asking for help, what would he have done? If someone like that said they were lost and asked him for directions, would he have gotten into a car? He might have. My husband always told him that a man had a duty to watch out for women and children. You can certainly argue that kind of attitude is outdated nowadays. But if Shuichi believed it, then we might have something here. Then you think the culprit was a young woman? But it was a man's voice on the phone. She might have been an accomplice. Or maybe she didn't even realize she was being used. If anything, that would explain why she hasn't come forward. She herself might not realize she had anything to do with the case. This is my chance at long last. So the question is, did anybody see Shuichi speaking with a young woman on the day of his disappearance? See, what I said about people's biases, that goes for witnesses too. And I figured that maybe, if I started asking new questions, I might get some new answers. So I spent my day asking around Shuichi's school route, seeing if anyone had seen something. And one man thought he had. Do you mean he saw it happen? Well, I can't say that for sure yet. It turns out he wanted something from me, so he asked if we could talk in private. Several hours earlier. Alright, this should do. There's no one around. We can speak here in confidence. Excuse me, what was your name again? Jonoichi. Got it. Well, Jonoichi, I'm all ears. Just so we're on the same page, you're a private detective investigating Shuichi Shigema's kidnapping. Do I have that right? Of course. What else do I look like? How should I know what a private detective looks like? Oh, forget it. Look, I'll tell you straight. My life is in danger. I need your help. You'll excuse me if that caught me a little off guard. Let me ask you straight. Who's trying to kill you? A student named Michio Shiraishi. Interesting. A schoolgirl, eh? Sounds like you've been naughty. It's nothing like that. The girl, she's a murderer. The only one who knows, but I saw what she did. Michio Shiraishi. I saw her kidnap Shuichi Shigami. Come again? I saw her talk to him on the street and lead him away. I didn't think much of it at the time, but then he went missing. She murdered him. I'm sure of it. Or at least she's got something to do with it. That's what you're here for, isn't it? Then you can't let her get to me. If that's true, you've been sitting on some valuable information. Why didn't you tell anybody? Well, you see, if you can't explain that, I don't have any reason to believe you. I couldn't. She told me she'd kill me if I ever spoke a word. You're telling me a schoolgirl had you scared for your life. So you've been sitting on that all this time, and you think she's coming for you now that you spilled the beans? Yes, that's it, exactly. I'm begging you, don't let her get me. Arrest her, I'm telling you, she's a demon. Well, you seem to believe what you're saying, but it doesn't add up. How could a schoolgirl have a fully grown man so terrified? You don't know what she can do. She'll curse me. Curse you? I'm sorry, but you're losing me here. It's true, her house, it's... forget it, why do I even bother? You seem dubious to believe me, but I should have known you'd never understand. And if I find someone else to help me. Hey. And that's about the long and short of it. I can hardly believe it. At the time, I thought his mention of curses was just crazy talk. But I'm starting to see there might have been more to it. Then, if we can just find that girl. Curse or no curse, if she was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping, there's a good chance she knows something. If I remember correctly, wasn't that the girl that's dead? I thought that was the one that died, but it's on the other path. I think. I don't have the file on this path right now. And there's a good chance she knows something. On top of that, I did some digging on the man I spoke to. His full name's Kohei Junichi. He's a teacher at Komagata High School here in Sumida. A teacher? Then this schoolgirl is one of his students. I think that's very likely. At last, we've got a lead. Hopefully it'll be the breakthrough we're looking for. The Rite of Resurrection, huh? I heard about that in an occult magazine the other day. Apparently some old book showed up recently with all the gory details. And they say that the rite can only be found somewhere in Honjo. I remember the first time you told me about that. It felt like... Oh, whoops. Like my purse had been hurt. Like I had hope. Real hope for the first time. Ever since that awful day, I wondered, what if I hadn't sent him to school? What if I had just paid the ransom? Not a day goes by when I don't think that if I had done something differently, Shuichi would still be alive. You can't blame yourself, ma'am. It was the culprit's fault, not yours. Though I know that won't help any. Grief is funny like that. I'm guessing that's why you're after the right? Guess I didn't need to ask. It's written all over your face. I can tell how much he meant to you. But, and this is a big but, if this rite is the real deal, using it will mean killing someone and stealing their soul. Is that a problem? If it comes to that, I'm afraid I'll have to stop you. Oh, that's a shame. A shame, huh? That's all? I thought, if I'm going to be competing with other curse bearers, then your detective skills might come in useful. You realize you're talking about ending someone's life, right? Don't you see an issue with that? I think any parent in my position would be happy to kill for a chance like this. That's so, is it? Dear, oh dear, what have I gotten myself into? So, it is kind of a hard question. Like, if I was in this position, would I want to use the Rite of Resurrection? I mean, I answered the question at the beginning. You know, because they do ask you the question at the start of the game, like, would you do it or not? And I said no. And I think my answer's still the same. I can see the temptation in it, but I think in the end it's I don't know. I think it's just a little bit too. I don't know. I don't know what the word is. Unnatural. It's just I don't think I could ever do it. I almost feel like it would be insulting to resurrect somebody. You know, that's kind of weird, but whatever. If it makes you uncomfortable, you want to get any blood on your hands yourself. I don't need you to kill the other curse bears. I only need you to find them. I won't be party to murder, ma'am. Not even for a client. I feel like she would just say this. I see. I didn't realize you were so stubborn. Let me say, though, it's not like I don't get what you're going through. As long as you're not killing anyone with your own hands, maybe I can help you out. What do you have in mind? Well, how about stealing someone else's curse stone after they filled it with soul drakes? If that's all you're after, then I could lend you my services guilt-free. If the other curse bearers want to kill each other, that's their business. I'm not trying to be a hero here. I guess there's no guarantee a stolen curse stone will work, but we can worry about that later. Well, then I suppose we have a deal. Although, what if I stole a curse stone using my curse? Would you disapprove? That would void our contract, ma'am. Just warning you now. Aye. It's again. This is a complicated one because when I'm thinking back to like Shogo Okie's path, I mean, he was going around killing people. So like, you could argue. I mean, she did sort of entrap him, but then also like, it's like, I mean, he was going around killing people though. Like, she should be able to use the curse in self-defense, I feel, but yeah. Before we go any further, why don't you tell me about that curse of yours? The haunting clappers, was it? That's one of the 7 mysteries of Honjo, if I remember correctly. That's right. The original story did happen somewhere near here, I think. I'm sure I remember hearing that. In that case, my money would be on all the curse bearers being somewhere in Honjo. Our first move should be to narrow them down. Some of them are bound to try and come for you first. We'll need to be ready. The curses make their bearers more willing to kill, so an attack could come from anywhere. That sounds sensible. I feel like my horror wave voice that I'm attempting to do is like affected a ton by this sinus issue. I'm not sure. It feels that way though. Like I would definitely like to keep reading and stuff because the story is great so far. I guess I haven't stopped to say that lately, but I'm really enjoying this story so far, and learning about the mysteries and the truth behind the mysteries and everything. And if I remember correctly, your haunting clappers can set people on fire, but only if they have a naked flame or a lighter on their person. Is that right? That's right. In olden times, wooden clappers were used to warn people of fire. I'm guessing it punishes those who don't heed the warning. Seems like a good curse to have. It's simple and straightforward enough to use. Although it's hard to say how it stacks up without knowing whatever else is on the table. You really think it's that good? The target can't do much to throw it off and has a nice long activation window. It's big that it works on lighters too. Just slip one into your target's pocket. And say that condition were already fulfilled, before they even knew you're there, you wouldn't even know what hit them. Or they wouldn't even know what hit them. Maybe I won't have to actually use it. I could just tell someone I could, and they'd have to do what I said. Threats could work, although without any proof it'll come down to how convincing you can be. If only you could use the curse, then back out at the last second. At the last second? What an interesting idea. I have a lighter right here, we could try it now. That's an interesting proposition. But maybe not. I'm not crazy enough to make myself a guinea pig. Oh, I see. You're an odd one, ma'am, if you don't mind me saying. I don't think it's just the curse. You flatter her. That's what we do next. First of all, I think you should stay indoors. Try not to do anything spontaneous or outside of your normal routine. Right then, have you decided what you want me working on? Oh. Oh, that's a hard one. Oh, that's a hard one. Okay. Uh, I. This is hard because, like, I think the desire to kill is definitely strong, which is why this choice is here. I still think investigate the kidnapping is what I'm more interested in. I feel like right now she's got the choice between trying to get closure and kind of like the immediate relief of like just murdering some dude, like setting him on fire. I think we're gonna try to investigate the kidnapping. Finally, I have a lead. I need to know what happened to my son. Your wish is my command, ma'am. I'll focus all my efforts on looking into the kidnapping. Although, something just occurred to me. You can't investigate the matter at night, can you? At least until the sun rises, could you search for the other curse bearers? Heh, alright, I see how it is. Well, I'd be happy to help. Maybe that was like an illusion of choice thing. Odds are good that the other curse bearers are also working by night. Anyone they kill in the cover of darkness won't be discovered until sunrise. I bet they'll be trying to do as much as they can before morning comes. So it's settled then. I'll look into the other curse bearers by night. And once the city wakes up and I can start asking questions, I'll investigate the kidnapping as well. I'll even try and find Miss Shiraishi as part of the bargain. Thank you, that's more than enough. Now then, I should get to work. There's only so much time before sunrise. I'll call you if I find anything new. You stay here and keep a lookout. Alright. There's no telling what kind of curses you might find out on the streets tonight. Don't go outside if you can help it. And try to be ready for anything. I will. Well, if that's all, I should get going. I should be going. Huh. Okay. She looks to be outside immediately, by the way. Just saying. Okay, one moment. Despite having obtained the curse with the haunting clappers, Haruo Shigema is determined to use the Rite of Resurrection by stealing the remaining curse stones. She instructs her private investigator Richter to find the other curse bearers. So yeah, I think it was an illusion of choice thing. I think no matter what, he's finding the curse bearers. This is 1 a.m. It's been almost an hour since Richter left. He promised he'd call me if anything happened, but he hasn't. So all I can do is wait, and wait. I know it's dangerous to go out, but I can't just sit here and let this opportunity pass me by. I have to look for Michio Shiraishi. But first I need to find more soul drinks. That old hanging scroll. I've seen it too often to feel anything from it now. The flowers put me at ease, just a little. Should I put a record on? No, it's too late for that. I'm not in the mood for music anyway. My husband used to complain that it was too dark, but I rather liked the glow. It's a fax machine. I really found a use for it. I don't know anybody else. Okay, that was the same. I'm waiting for Richter to contact me, but he hasn't. Come to think of it, I never offered him any tea. Not that I ever learned how to make it. What's this? A newspaper? It must have fallen off the chair. It's a newspaper. I only leave them in here for the guests. I hardly ever read them myself. I don't think I've taken the time to go over one in years, in fact. Well, as long as I have anything better to do. Looks like the city's biggest problem right now is pollution. I remember how the air and water used to be more polluted. The river was covered in scum from all the sewage and industrial waste, and it stank so badly it'd make my eyes water. Eventually, people started getting sick, and it couldn't be ignored anymore. Fortunately, it's gotten better since then. Although the air around the industrial district is still filthy with gas and smog. If there's one thing Honshu never wants for, it's horrific crimes. They found a police officer dead in a local park just the other day. A lot of my family are in the police. I hope it wasn't anybody I knew. I don't read the news anymore, not since last year. It brings back bad memories. Suicide at local high school? Oh, I remember that. A high school girl jumped off a roof about a week ago. She was bullied, I think, or maybe it was something about exam pressure? What? But, no, this can't be right. Her name, Michio Shiraishi from Komagata High School. See, I thought that she was the one that died, but I have access to those files because I'm not on the detective path. I can't. Okay, so now she knows it's pointless to go look for her. Okay, good. All sorts of articles about the current state of the economy. Now that the post-war boom has passed its peak, we're moving into the era of large corporations. There's about 220 to 230 yen to the dollar. Manufacturing is on the rise and exports are healthy. The dollar is down from its height, and people are saying it could fall further. There's no denying how much the standard of living has improved in the past few years. It's common to own a car and television now, and the supermarkets are better stocked than ever. Although with everyone flocking to the city, land prices are skyrocketing. Nowadays, most people can only dream of home ownership. The city center is going to be nothing but apartments before long. I'm not exactly a businesswoman, so this all feels like another world to me. Now that everyone has more spending money to go around, people are coming up with all kinds of new diversions. It seems like only yesterday that people were flocking to the arcades to shoot aliens. But now we have these enormous theme parks and gaming machines that plug straight into our televisions. Everyone's talking about superhero series, foreign films, and movies based on the latest bestseller. Back in my day, fusion rock and folk music were all the rage. But now it's all about city pop and idols. I find it hard to care about that sort of thing anymore. Oops. I hear the new big thing is some mascot line of delinquent birds. Mockingbirds, I think it's called. Was that what Richter was talking about? Trends seem to have such short shelf lives now, with how quickly the times are changing. I think I'm just too old to keep up anymore. It's young people who are leading the way with their modern worldviews. My generation will only fall further behind. Everyone attends high school now, even girls. Universal education policy, they call it. The country's gotten rich enough that every child can go to school. Education is the backbone of modern society. If you want to work for a good company, you have to get into a good university. With more people in the running than ever, the competition to get into those universities has gotten fierce, though. The new generation is rebelling. Schoolyard violence and delinquencies are on the rise. But my boy was too sensible to get mixed up in any of that. I don't want to read anymore. It'll only remind me of him. I don't really watch much television. It feels as if all the information in the world gets passed through that little black box. But Father stopped them from reporting on the kidnapping back when it happened. I was glad about that. Less fuss. Now the comedy boom is over, all the comedians are flocking to other genres. The occult seems really popular at the moment. Look at all these paranormal specials. Okay. There's nothing on at this hour. I see no point in turning this on. The ticking seems so loud. It just goes to show how quiet it is. I made sure that the receiver's on the hook. It'll ring as soon as he calls. Ah! That must be him. Hello? Shigama residence? Two a.m. Oh, I got your brains. Oh, okay. Okay. I thought something. I thought it was somebody else who called for a second. Richter called me out to meet him, and we came here to Komagata Bridge. Richter, there's something I need to tell you. Funny, I was just thinking the same thing. We're on Komagata Bridge over the Sumida River. There's a highway on one side and a freeway on the other, but they're both deserted this late at night. Komagata Bridge, one of the bridges spanning the Sumida River, completed in 1927 as part of the reconstruction effort following the Great Kanto earthquake. It is notable both for its distinctive blue arches and the cutting edge, for the time, techniques used in its construction. There are many bridges stretching across the Sumida River, each boasting a unique structural form and design. He's gazing down at the water. What does he see down there, I wonder? The Sumida River, the water is filthy and hard, but at night when it's still, it almost looks peaceful. Can I ask you something, ma'am? Is the Sumida River what you Honjo folks picture when you think of home? I couldn't say. All I can tell you is that I can hardly stand the sight of it. Right, should have guessed. This is where they found him after he went missing. All alone, floating in that horrible water. All I can think is how scared he must have been. How cold he must have been. What did he ever do to deserve something so awful? I've come here every day since then. And I prayed to the river to give him back. To give me back my son. Day after day after day. You know, in olden times, people believed rivers marked where our world met the next. So the act of crossing flowing water had a huge amount of spiritual significance. Back when Edo was founded, the people of Chuo saw the Sumida River the same way. They associated the far side of the river with the afterlife. That same place would later become Honjo. All their fear and revulsion accumulated there and took root. But then the Ryogoku Bridge sprang up after the Great Fire of Meiraki. That's hard to say, sorry. And just like that, Honjo was part of the city too. And as it turned from farmland into a town, the people surrounded it with man-made rivers and crisscrossed with canals and waterways. Weren't those to prevent flooding? That's what I was told. They were, but that's not all they were for. Their other purpose was to contain all the corruption that had built up on the far shore, and stop it from leaking through to our side of the Great Divide. Officially, they were a physical barrier, but unofficially, they were a spiritual one too. So, if I have this right, are you saying that Honjo is a place where the real world meets the afterlife? Exactly, that's why the rite of resurrection is here rather than anywhere else, I'm sure of it. And it's probably why the 7 mysteries and their curses have survived to the modern day. And I guess that would make this spot we're standing now, right over the water, the border between life and death. If there ever was a place where bringing back the dead might be possible, I reckon it's here. It's funny that you mentioned praying to the river. That might have done more than you think. Is this supposed to make me feel better? Just thinking aloud, man. Well, it's a nice thought. Sumida River. A Class A river that is part of the Arakawa River system, which runs through much of eastern Tokyo and empties into the Tokyo Bay. During the Edo period, Sumida's riverbanks played a key role in the transportation of lumber used for construction. In addition to logistical importance, it was also a place where the common folk to gather and enjoy activities such as seasonal flower viewing or river bathing, and there exist many wood block prints depicting such activities. The area became plagued with sewage issues when the surrounding environs were industrialized in the post-war period, but the situation has improved since. Many unique bridges span the Sumida River, including the Ryogoku and the Azumabashi bridges, which attract a large number of visitors as sightseeing spots. Massive fireworks displays in the summer are also always sure to draw a crowd. The river has served as a cornerstone for both the city and its people, having both aided in its development and serving as an inspiring backdrop for countless works of art and literature. Oh, that's right. There's one more memory I have of this river. Do you mind if I tell you? Go ahead. It must have been about 20 years ago now when I was still a schoolgirl. Back then, the Sumida River was much filthier than it is now. It was full of garbage and industrial discharge. It was scummy and slimy and it stank. You could look out over the water and see dead cats and dogs and pigeons just floating. One day, among all the filth and garbage, there was a piece of my missing classmate's hand. What? It was almost a miracle when you stopped to think about it. What are the chances that someone would find a part of her that was still recognizable? And that although everything but the palm had rotted away in the water, the part that was left would have an identifiable scar. And that they could tell it had been a murder from the blade marks on the bone. Wait, are you talking about the Nejima murders? So you've heard of it. I'm impressed. I assume you were but an elementary schooler at the time. I wasn't really aware of it then. I'd only heard about it after the fact. I had no idea the victim was a classmate of yours. Fumichuka Nejima. Okay, this is the guy. The man who made headlines over 2 decades ago as the perpetrator of the brutal killings known as the Nejima murders. To be honest, it was all a bit of a blur. A wave of chaos just parting around me. Something like that. They said the rest of her body must have sunk to the bottom of the river. They combed the riverbed, but they only ever found pieces. Everything else must have rotted and flowed out to sea. Afterwards, I heard that all the divers that had been looking for her fell ill. A sorry story for everyone involved, huh? It's funny, everyone figures the river's filthy already, so one more piece of garbage won't hurt. But every little bit makes it worse. It's a vicious cycle. I know I wouldn't want to go rooting down there myself. That's right. Which is why the riverbed is the last place anybody would go looking. Or so was the killer's thinking, I suppose. The times were changing quickly back then. Things were confusing. Everyone seemed to be in a hurry. Young people were moving to Tokyo in droves. Some even ran away from their home to make it in... Wait, some people even ran away from home to make it in the big city. And they even made easy targets for bad people. A lot of them ended up disappearing without a trace. You see, back then, if you chopped a body up into tiny pieces and threw it in the river, it would rot quickly and discreetly and sink to the bottom, never to be seen again. Are you saying what I think you're saying? They arrested him shortly after, Fumichuka Nejima. The man who killed my classmate and cut her into pieces. He was so methodical about it. It couldn't have been his first crime. And people began to wonder how many other girls he'd murdered the same way. The police never found any evidence of other murders in the end, but the river knows the truth. How many corpses has it swallowed up over the years, I wonder? That same thought spread through everyone's mind, and they started to avoid this area. So really, this river's been rank with corruption for decades now. Or at least, that's how it seems to me. Well, was that interesting? Well, I can see why you don't have any good memories of this river. With all that darkness lurking beneath the surface, there's no reason that you would. Still, if I may, ma'am, I'm surprised you know so much about the Nejima murders. But how could I not? After all, I was the one who found the head. The police actually wrote me a thank you letter. They said it was only thanks to me that they managed to bring Nejima to justice. That was the only time my father ever said that he was proud of me. Ha. I guess it wasn't just the killer's I guess it just wasn't the killer's day. Sometimes I wonder if he resents me for it. Assuming the river. I have nothing but awful memories of it. Dang, that was a lot of memories for the river. Just double checking and making sure. I have to look around for birds now. Is that a bird? Oh, Mockingbird 18. It's a flamingo and a sailor outfit? Heh. The Pink Punisher. Okay. I'll go first. There's something I need to tell you. What's up? Well, that girl, Michio Shiraishi, the one who was with Shuichi on the day of the kidnapping, that's her. Well, she's dead. She's what? The student who committed suicide last week, that was her. I heard something like that had happened, never got the name though. Talk about bad luck. We finally get a lead only to find it's turned into a literal dead end. Unless her death was the whole reason Shinoichi was so shaken up. He said she was gonna curse him. Was he talking about her taking revenge from beyond the grave? It seems like we're back where we started. Not necessarily. That teacher knows something, I'm sure of it. At the very least, I put money on him having something to do with Miss Shiraishi's death. That's why he's so scared of being cursed by her. I see. And also, something tells me he knows more about your son's kidnapping. In any case, I think I've got a good idea of what he's hiding. Call it a hunch. A hunch? Well, more of a theory. Care to take a guess? Sure, why not? I can't say for certain, but... Ah. Probably with blackmail. What if Michio Shiraishi silenced Mr. Junichi with blackmail? What do you think? Interesting. That's what he claimed was going on, but I wonder about that. That might be a little far-fetched. I see. Sorry if I disappointed you. I'm not really cut out to play detective. Well, no point dwelling on speculation. The truth will out in time. And now I think we need to have another chat with Mr. Junichi. Standing around is the last thing I want to be doing right now. This is my only chance to bring back my son. I can't afford to fritter it away. Please, go ahead. Alright then. I've been poking around places connected to the 7 mysteries looking for curse bearers, and I think I found a few candidates. First, the tall man I ran into in Kichibori Park. I asked him for directions, trying to probe him a little, but he turned the questions right back around on me. And he was out of it the second he figured I wasn't what he was looking for. I got the sense curse was nothing new to him. I'm about 40% sure he's a curse bearer. Then there's this middle-aged guy I saw on South Watagatsu Street. There's no question about this when he had one of the curse stones in his hand. He had a nervous air about him, too. It was clear he was up to some shady business. Gathering soul dregs, I bet. You can make a good target. Next up is a pair, a young man and woman I saw around Ryogoku Bridge. This time the man came up to me and asked flat out if I was a curse bearer. I told him I didn't know what I was talking about, and he backpedaled and left. Looks like they lurk around there often, looking for kindred spirits would be my guess. Though it didn't seem like they were quite working as a pair. Gathering soul dregs in a group might be a decent idea if you can make it work, but with things being how they are, it's going to be hard to find folks that one can trust. They've got brass, though. I don't know what their deal is, but I'd like to find out. Last 2 detectives I've seen sniffing around. The police are involved? Not necessarily. A body turned up at a local park a few days ago, so they might just be looking into that. Still, the park's got ties to one of the 7 mysteries. Might be that it was a curse that did the guy in. And if they're sending in detectives from the head office, then something's got to be up. How do you know where they're from? Let's just say that when you're in this business, there are some faces that you just get to know. Anyways, that's everyone who's come by. You found all of them in so little time? I really did hire the best. It's all in the name, man. Richter Kai, P.I. No, wait. Make that Richard Kai Investigator Extraordinaire. My, an Investigator Extraordinaire. Is that why you can dress up like that without drawing attention to yourself? Hey, you bet. An Investigator Extraordinaire can blend in like a chameleon in any outfit. Well, that aside, the middle-aged man and the young couple sound the most promising, am I right? Whichever we pick, it's still too early to make a move. It seems like the curse bearers are less involved with each other than we thought. Plus, there's still others we don't know about. I say we hang fire and see how things play out. Once more bodies start showing up, that'll get the pot nice and hot. And once it's boiling, our chance will come. Is something wrong? Not really, it just struck me. It's been 20 years since the Nejima murders. So it has? Not to spook you or anything, but I thought you might be interested in knowing... Life in prison doesn't always mean life. There's precedent for first-time offenders being allowed out on parole after 20 years. Only if they're found to show remorse and the desire to reform themselves, of course. That's right. I'm impressed you know so much. Still, it's hard for someone with a criminal record to reintegrate into society. I hear they've been trying to fix that recently, matching inmates with jobs and accommodation. Oh, really? They keep an eye on them, of course, and make them report in for regular checkups. But to avoid discrimination, they keep the inmates' records a secret from everybody but their employers. They even give particularly notorious criminals new identities so they won't be recognized in the workplace. My. The way you put it. It's like you're saying Chika Nejima could be out on parole right now. Back in society under a new name with nobody any the wiser. It's possible. As it happens, a little birdie told me about a big name making parole a few months back. I don't know if that was Nejima, but our discussion just now did bring it to mind. I see. How unsettling. Now that you mention it, I just remembered something too. What was it? I was passing Komagata High School a little while ago when I saw someone. The janitor, I think. And I could have sworn he reminded me of Chica Nejima. Oh? He looked a little different after 20 years. Much thinner than I remembered, too. I told myself I was just seeing things. But perhaps it was him after all. He had a cigarette in that scene, too. If she really believed it was Nejima, I wouldn't be surprised if she killed him. But, of course, you know, that's just speculation. So, what next? The big question now is what the rest of the Curse Bears are up to. Luckily, the Sumida River is a good distance from any of the 7 mysteries. It's unlikely the other Curse Bears will come all the way here. I can finally have a moment to think. I see. Alright. Excuse me. It's been a while since someone spooked me like that. Is it a woman's voice? Who could it be? Is it the ignore me woman? Yeah, okay. This the woman who's like, oh, ignore me, or whatever before. Where did she come from? It's like she appeared out of nowhere. I didn't mean to startle you. I'm terribly sorry if I've gotten the wrong people, but would you happen to be Curse Bearers? Curse Bearers? What's that then? It means someone who's gathering souls for the Rite of Resurrection. You've heard of the Rite of Resurrection, haven't you? Everyone's talking about it. Color me intrigued. Care to tell me more, miss? What was your name again? Oh, silly me. I'm Ayame Tono. She says her name is Ayame. I guess she's around 20. She must be brave walking around alone this late, or maybe there's more to it. He's hiding it well, but I can sense he's got his guard up. Could there be more to this girl than meets the eye? I should ask her what her deal is. I'm just double checking to make sure nobody else is around. She certainly had no reservations telling us about the Rite of Resurrection. We're worth keeping an eye on her. She could be trouble. There's more to the Rite of Resurrection than meets the eye, you see. So the best way to collect soul drakes is to kill other Curse Bearers. And that's about the size of it. I hope it wasn't too much to follow. No, I think I got the gist. Funny old world we live in, huh? So, you said you're one of these Curse Bearers? No, well, not quite. It's complicated. I'm not, but Yutaro is. Yutaro? Is that your boyfriend? Oh heavens no, it's just a friend. His full name is Yutaro Namigaki. We're, I suppose you could say, partners in crime. Funny way of putting it. So, where's this Yutaro now? What about that? He's not actually a Curse Bearer anymore. He's more like a former Curse Bearer. Former? How so? I don't really know the details myself, but apparently he lost his Curse Stone. Typical, right? He makes such a show of being a top student only to flunk when it counts. So now I'm out here looking for Curse Bearers myself. If you want something done right. He lost it? How did he do that? I wasn't with him at the time, so I don't know exactly what happened. All I know is he came back saying he didn't have it anymore. Although, well, it's strange that you probe into that of all things. I'm just the curious sort, that's all. Sorry if it's a touchy subject. Well, I don't mind. I don't particularly care about keeping it a secret. Yutaro can be a little irrational sometimes, so I have to keep a level head on my shoulders. So anyway, mind if I ask you why you thought I was a Curse Bearer? Oh, that. I'm terribly sorry. I was so rude. I saw the two of you out late at night, and I suppose I made assumptions. Gotcha. Sorry if we gave you the wrong idea. Out of interest, what was your plan if we did turn out to be Curse Bearers? Great question. And the answer is, I was going to ask you very nicely for your Curse Stones. And you thought we would have given them to you just like that? Well, maybe not, but you know what they say, you never know until you ask. You must really love your boyfriend if you're willing to say something that risky. Oh goodness no, we're just friends. My life doesn't revolve around him, you know? Anyway, you aren't Curse Bearers, so I'm just bothering you, aren't I? Please ignore me. We should definitely not ignore her because, like, I think she's I think she's the reed bearer, curse bearer. Where if we ignore her, she would probably kill us or something like that. But I mean, I don't know. So, what are you trying to do with this rite of resurrection? Well, Utara has his own plan all laid out. I don't know if I can get behind it, though. It seems, how do I put it, self-centered? I mean, if you've got a chance to resurrect the dead, it would be a waste not to use it on someone that really matters, right? So I was planning to seal his curse stone at the last second and use it for myself. Well, until he lost it anyway. Oh, but don't tell Utara I was going to do that, okay? I don't think he'd be happy to hear it. Of course, keeping secrets is my business. My, aren't you dashing? Sounds like you really have your heart set on this right. What were you hoping to use it on? Do you promise you won't laugh? Cross my heart. Well then, let me tell you my master plan. Prepare to be amazed. I'm an art student, you see. Woodblock prints are my specialty. Ukiyo-e in particular. That's where I've heard that. I asked early, like a while back. I asked about ukiyo-e because I've heard that word before, but I couldn't remember what it was. But it's a type of woodblock print. I know I'd heard it before. Ukiyo-e, huh? You must be a cultured lady. Really? Do you think so? Everybody says it's a strange interest for a girl to have. You know, people often don't think of ukiyo-e as some inaccessible high-class art form, but that's actually totally untrue. Back in the Edo period, it was the art for the masses, amusement for the common people. So when you think about it, we feel exactly the same thrills from every brushstroke as they did back then. Isn't that fascinating? Yeah, I guess. And as far as I'm concerned, the undisputed king of ukiyo-e is the one and only Hokusai. Have you heard of him? Sure I have. He's famous. Didn't he live somewhere around here back in the Edo period? That's right. You're just as knowledgeable as you look. His 36 views of Mount Fuji are so iconic that the only works of his most people know. But Hokusai was so much more than just mountains and waves. That's only the teeny tiny tip of a veritable iceberg of work. I've got to admit, I only really know him from those landscapes myself. Oh, don't worry about it. Anybody can learn. When Hokusai died at the age of 90, he left behind over 30,000 drawings. That's multiple drawings a day for 80 years. Amazing, right? So he kept on drawing right up to his old age, huh? Impressive. Oh, oops, I think that was Richter. Yeah, so he kept on drawing right up into his old age, huh? Impressive. But even in his final years, he was never satisfied with his own work. His dying words were, "Should heaven afford me but 5 more years, I shall finally become a true artist." Even on his deathbed, he still thought he had more to learn. He was already the greatest painter and artist of his era. Who knows what he could have done with more time? Well, that's what I want to find out. Huh. Hold on, are you saying... Besides, he always said he wanted to move out of 100 houses, but he only made it to 93. Isn't that just tragic? Oh, no. Nah. No way this is going where I think it's going. Imagine the masterpieces he could create with modern techniques. I feel all dizzy just thinking about it. You've got to be kidding me. So if I understand correctly, you want to use the rite of resurrection to... That's right, I want to bring Hokusai back to life. Well, that's certainly a novel idea. That's what she'd use it on? What a waste. Katsushika Hokusai, a master ukiyo-e artist, 1760 to 1849. Hokusai was active during the late Edo period, considered to be the golden age of ukiyo-e in Japan. Born in Honjo, Hokusai spent most of his life in the area now known as Sumida City. Among his most famous works are the 36 views of Mount Fuji and the Hokusai manga. Hokusai was a prolific artist from a young age and has left behind a wide variety of works, producing an estimated 30,000 pieces during his lifetime. Though the general popularity of ukiyo-e declined during the Meiji period, Hokusai remained a core figure at the center of the Japanisma movement, or Japanisme movement, providing inspiration for countless artists around the globe. Japanisme? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that movement is. If it's something to do with art, I wouldn't know. Despite his fame, Hokusai himself was said to be rather indifferent to money or decorum, and lived a life that quite appropriately resembled that of the whimsical and otherworldly scenes often depicted in ukiyo-e. Even though he went by many names, in his later years he took on the title of Gakyo Rojinmanji, or the Old Mad Painter. Hokusai lived to be 90 years old and never lost his passion for art. 90 years old in 1840s? Jesus Christ, this man had the secret to long life. What was the life expectancy in like 1800 Japan? There's no way it was like that. It was 90. It was probably like 60 or something. Anyway. Maybe I'm crazy. Oh gosh, is that the time I should be going? I need to get my hands on a curse bear before daybreak. Sorry for flagging you down in the blue like that. Best of luck! Ayame Tono. Ayame is a young woman working with Yutaro Namigaki. Her love of Katsushika Hokusai's ukiyo-e is so great that she wishes to resurrect him with the rite of resurrection. This is probably a good time to bring up. Earlier they explained how the rite of resurrection worked, and the longer it has been since someone died, the more souls you need. So since this is like a really, really long time ago, she would need a crazy amount of souls. Like, it took like 5 kills to fully fill up the stone for Shogo Okie. And I think that might have been enough to use the Rite of Resurrection on Yoko, who had died like mere hours before. So like she would have to kill like a lot of people. Like a ridiculous amount of people, it feels. But I don't know. I'm not sure how it scales. Ayame is a clever but calculated university student who only has time for her own interests. She's making the best of a recent boom in the popularity of female university students, incited by their appearance across TV commercials and radio programs. Ayame is content to ride this trend so long as it allows her to get her hands on whatever she needs and whatever she wants in life. Recently, Ayame has figured out that the older men will fall for her if she acts a little bit stupid. She was approached by Yutaro Namigaki in town, and although she was not attracted to him, agreed to date him because his family seemed rich. However, she does not think much of him as a human being and is beginning to grow bored of their relationship. Well, there goes trouble. If we're going after curse stones, we should keep an eye on her, too, if we can. Why do you say that? Before she left, she wished us best of luck. She's got at least an inkling that we're curse bearers. Aye. There's a good chance we'll clash sooner or later. We're after the same thing, after all. You head on back to the mansion, ma'am. I think I'll tell her for a while. No more curses? Ooh. Anime has received multiple reports about other suspected prisoners. Although concerned about Ayame Tono, who is apparently also after the curse stone, she entrusts Richter to continue his investigation. Okay. Hopefully I can go ahead and finish this, but then I'll have to stop this session because my stuffy nose is getting worse talking, I think. Back here again. I left Richter to continue looking for curse bearers and came home alone. The old Shigema mansion. We rebuilt it here after the Great Kanto earthquake. It always stayed the same all these years, even the war didn't touch it. I never liked it growing up. I always wanted to live somewhere more modern. Once a warrior clan with a mansion in Honjo, now a dynasty of police officials, the Shigema family is one of considerable repute. The family estate was originally located at some distance from the city, but the Great Kanto earthquake of 1923 forced them to rebuild in a new location. The Shigema mansion was at one time a bustling place where members of the social elite mingled. 1 year ago, however, the head of the house was struck with a sudden melancholy, and ever since their mansion stood silent as the grave. Okay. I can hear the wind rustling in the trees. Will this really be enough to gather the soul tracks I need? What if nobody uses any more curses? I'll lose my chance to bring him back. Oh, bird. Oh, it's like a motorcycle gang delinquent bird. I'm just double checking before I... Alright, let's go inside. Oh, that's it. Okay, so that's Haraway's. Okay, good. I'm glad it wasn't too long because my stuffy nose is making this difficult. Okay. Alright, in that case, we have completed Tetsuo's and Haraway's. So next, I will do Yako Sakazaki, but I need to take a rest. So far, the game's been very fun. I'm guessing this is... Like, the detectives seem to be collecting multiple curse stones. She seems to be struggling with whether she should kill or not. I don't know if she killed that random guy that looked like Nejima. Probably not. But you never know. He did have a cigarette in his mouth, it looked like, so... that counts as fire, I'm assuming. And we'll see what Yako's up to, because I did not see Yako at all. And Tetsuo and Junaria were only, mentioned slightly. But the game's very fun so far, and I'm excited to see where it goes.